Nigeria. But when you now talk about Nigeria, all people think about is just Lagos and Abuja, as if that's the entire 36 states in the country, right? But in Interswitch, we decided to do things differently, to say, you know what? We have people that are tech enthusiasts in other regions of the country. And there is nothing as beautiful as bringing them together for them to be able to meet themselves, network among themselves, and be able to discuss what is happening within the tech space. How does it impact their businesses? And that's what gave birth to TechConnect that we currently have today. Today we're in TechConnect 4.0. We started with TechConnect 1.0. Interestingly, I think 1.0 was in Port Harcourt when we're doing within the South-South. So what we do is go to the 5 regions, right? We have 6 regions, but we've steadily done at least 5 regions every year where we go to the various regions. So last week we were in Enugu, and we had a very good time. We had lots of people in the room, and we had a very interesting conversation. And I'm hoping, as a South-South babe that I am, that the South-South energy that we get to be very, very big, right? Because, you know, in South-South, we know how they do our things, right? We do it where we do it well, they do it loud, right? So I'm hoping that the energy I will get in the room today will be very, very, and we'll be very contagious. We'll be able to network amongst ourselves and have good conversations. Next week, we'll be going to Abuja. Another week, we'll be going to Ibadan. So you can see how well we've covered the entire spectrum of Nigeria, because we know everybody in Nigeria matters, right? And one way or the other, we are all developing solutions to solve our problems. So I'll say again, welcome to TechConnect 4.0. We're excited to be here with you. One of the things we are talking about today is unlocking growth opportunities through digitization. You know, there's an African proverb that says, when you unlock the door, the future opens. So one of the things we want to do to you today is, how do we help you unlock the growth potentials that reside within your ecosystem, that reside within your region, and from there you can then begin to think about things differently. What are my contemporaries doing in other regions? What are my contemporaries doing even right in my region? What can I do differently, and what can I do better? So that's what we are hoping to achieve today in today's TechConnect 4.0. So today we've had impressive lineup of speakers. They'll be coming to speak with you from their wealth of experiences. These are people that have been in the fintech space for a very long time. They also play within the space you're in. So they understand your challenges. They can relate to your challenges. They're not looking at your challenges from, you know, there's some people that they can advise you. When they advise you because they've not been in your shoe. They don't really know what it's like. Those people who have been, they're in your shoe. They've been in your shoe, so they can totally speak to you from the language that you totally understand. So beyond bringing those impressive speakers, we also do panel sessions very well. So what we do with panel sessions is to say, we don't just want one person to talk at you. We want different people with different wealth of experiences to come together and also speak with you and speak to you on what you can do now, the challenges you're currently experiencing, and what you can do differently to grow, scale, and unlock new revenues in your businesses. And above all, one of the things I like to do a lot when I'm in this type of event is to network, right? And networking is so key. It's very, very key in our day-to-day lives. I'm one person that I've experienced the power of networking for events such as this. So when I come to events such as this, I deliberately do not sit with my friends. And the reason why I deliberately do not sit with my friends is because I already know you, my friend. So if I have any issue, I can call you. All I need now are new people in my life. People that with just one phone call, they can solve my problems, right? We aren't solving my problems. But one of the things I also find out within the fintech or tech space that we're in is the fact that we all have common problems, right? Sometimes you are sitting down thinking about this GL. It refused to reconcile. They said my settlement team said it has scattered, right? And you think it's probably germane to you alone. But trust me, by the time you begin to speak to the next person beside you, it literally has the same issues. And one of the things that do for you is that because you have commonality of challenges, you can then think, how do we come together to solve them? So that's what networking again do for you. You get people that are going through the same thing you're going through, and you can talk about it. And once you talk about it, you can then see how you can then solve it together. So when I come to events like this, as I said, I like to network. And I do realize that some of us are shy. For one, I can be very shy. Somebody said, But yeah, some of us can be very shy. So for the shy ones today, I'll make it a lot easier. So as we would popularly do in church, for us that are in the church, so look at your neighbor, say neighbor. Pick up it, neighbor. My church will say neighbor, baba. So neighbor, so now you know your neighbor. You can now say, introduce yourself to your neighbor. Tell your neighbor that something that is very unique to you. And what is the thing that you like about the job that you currently do? I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. And just in case your neighbor is your Oga, you can move away. Just in case you don't like in case you don't want to tell your Oga what you like or you don't like about your jobs. So 5 minutes. I'm watching. I'm looking, everybody, neighbor, select your neighbor. And some networking sometimes leads to the next level, So Oga, you are my neighbor. Thank you. I can see. Please talk to your neighbor. Your neighbor. There are a lot of CEOs in the room. Just a little better, I should whisper to you. Just in case you're among the people that is trusting God for the next level, you may just be talking to your next employer. Yes. And if you don't have a neighbor, please find a neighbor. Find a neighbor. Okay, I can see networking happening. And if you're a lady, there's a particular gender you want to network with. Some network can happen beyond just official, So I'll let me be the person. Please remember to invite me because I made this happen. And it's very, very important. Some neighbors are not talking to themselves. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes, I like the energy. Yes, you guys are giving me South vibe. And if your neighbor wants to say it in pidgin, please allow your neighbor to say it in pidgin. It's very important. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the energy in the room. Say neighbor, we will continue later. Neighbor, we will continue later. All right, thank you very much. Because we did not, we're starting by 10. And one of the things we will do is try and make this very fast and impactful. Very, very important, right? So I'm speaking so that I can give people 1 minute to round up. There will be still plenty of time to talk to your neighbor. I promise you all. Madam, have you networked with somebody today? Thank you so much. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. The energy in the room is very strong. I really love this. So we're going straight to the event for today. We want to say thank you. Welcome so much, everyone. We really do not take your presence for granted. We thank you so much for those that have traveled all the way from Edo State, those that traveled from Agbo. It's travel. It's not easy. Any trip that is more than 30 minutes in Nigeria now is travel. From all the places you've traveled from, Onitsha, Port Harcourt, we say welcome to the CEOs in the room, to the head of department, to the youth in the room. Give yourself a round of applause. We say thank you, and welcome to TechConnect 4.0. So today we'll be going straight to the keynote address. Okay, let me give 1 minute. There's still plenty of networking. Okay, thank you. So we're going straight to the keynote address where we'll be talking about the future of microfinance, digitization, the challenges and growth opportunity. I'll be taken by none other than Emmanuel Wokocha, who is the head of our sales team in the South region. Please, let's give him a round of applause. He's the fashionista of Interswitch. When I see him, I see big money. I see fine boy with plenty swags and steez. You're welcome, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now the verse for me. I'm glad to be here today, and I'm glad to be in Asaba. Asaba is a beautiful place. Let's put our hands together for the government of our Delta State. Yeah, those of you who live in Asaba, you don't know what you're enjoying. The air is fresh, the environment is neat, and the people are kind. Thank you so very much for hosting us. Yes. We decided to bring TechConnect 4.0 to Asaba because we see a whole lot of activities in the digital space going on in the South-South region happening in Asaba. We see Asaba as a hub of the next tech thing to happen. So Interswitch in the South region decided that this year we will bring this event to this state. So I want to appreciate Interswitch for according us the privilege to host TechConnect 4.0 in Asaba. Let's put our hands together for Interswitch. Thank you so very much. Standing on the existing protocols, but I would want to make special recognition to the MDs of all the microfinance banks in the South-South who are here present, the managing directors of Fintech hubs who are here present. I also want to recognize the MDs and CEOs and management staff of all other organizations that do something on the tech space who are here present. And most importantly, you yourself that made it early to this place, I want to say a big welcome to you. Just to give a short keynote address on the future of microfinance, digitization challenges, and growth opportunities, I like to say that microfinance providers are taking progressive steps to improve digital financial service, often starting with digitization of existing products, services, and operations, either by using mobile services, partnering with digital financial service providers, or developing a proprietary agency network. Although this triggers benefits to both for the clients, convenience, security, faster transactions, and creation of a digital footprint. Microfinance bank providers are increasingly moving into the rural areas, providing value-added products, rural outreach at a lower cost, digital finance, which comes with certain challenges and risk and can sometimes present a threat if not leveraged appropriately. So part of what we are here today is to look at those challenges that can help microfinance banks scale and grow. Of course, this event is not just for microfinance bank, it's for the fintech space and all those who operate in the digital transaction services. The opportunities available for microfinance banks in the digital space includes digitization of their services, like we said, leveraging on their license cost and low-income clients. They can deepen customer engagement and product usage. In turn, promote and increase financial inclusion. This is one of the things that digitization of microfinance bank can help us do. Number two, digital channels makes it much easier for microfinance providers to collect data. Okay, and data analytics plays a crucial role in determining the risk profile of financially excluded and new customers. Today, data is gold, and you don't play down on data. So with microfinance banks, we can get more data of those who are coming into the financial space. Digital financial service providers, including microfinance banks, provides convenience and proximity. It offers convenience for customers as they have access to a broader range of financial services on the digital space. It guarantees lower risk and safer funds. Okay, this makes for those who are poor and live in the rural communities in particular, from traveling to far distances to conduct, financial services. With digital financing, clients no longer need to travel long distance with large amount of cash in their pocket, reducing the risk of theft. Other benefits include faster transactions for financial services. Digital finance enables customers to transact, save, take out time and repay loans in seconds, right? Even pay insurance premiums without having to travel or close their businesses. Digital financing helps to keep transaction history, which allows customers with no access to formal banking to begin building transaction history, which will later enable them to access loans easily. Digital financing also helps to bring operational efficiency, leveraging and leading increasing profitability. We also have challenges in this space. All right? Although digitization delivers benefits for both clients and providers, it also comes with challenges and risk. Microfinance providers must have the necessary operational, technical, and financial capacities to move with digital financial services. These challenges ranges from lack of affordable, adequate technology platform providers. Of course, we have growth of fintech operators in Nigeria today, but they are still grossly inadequate. Uncompetitive technology market with artificially inflated cost of local hardware. Everything in Nigeria is almost imported. It remains to be made to import human beings. All right, so that is a big challenge for us. Poor infrastructure. Okay, I don't know how long you've been here. Power has gone off and on so many times. It's a challenge to digitization. Low digital and financial literacy, which requires consumer education to build trust. A lot of our people are yet to be, computer literate that helps them operate digitally. Business continuity, which, hovers around data safety, security, protection requirements. Regulatory restrictions of no clarity on the use of cloud services. We still have some gray areas in that space. Inexperienced personnel lacking necessary skills to operate in the digital space. Lack of leadership buy-in. Many times we have our shareholders who are not, tech savvy, not accepting us to digitize our services at the microfinance bank level. Change of management with organization. All right? This has to do with buy-in at all levels, leading to technology, people who are not willing to change from where they were to where they need to be. We also have the challenge of operational agility, re-engineering process to permit full digitization in the microfinance banks. Having said that, unlocking growth opportunities through technology and innovation is the passion of Interswitch. At Interswitch, we create solutions that enable individuals and communities to prosper across Africa. We see an Africa where digital payments are a seamless part of everyday life. Interswitch is the leading digital payment organization focused on Africa. Since building Nigeria's payment processing and infrastructure in 2002, the company has expanded to become the market leader in Nigeria with footprints across Africa and beyond. Interswitch bespoke solutions have helped businesses across Africa improve operational efficiency, reduce costs, and increase revenue and profitability. The solutions Interswitch offer are designed to support the payment and collection needs of financial operators in the ecosystem. Our multi-channel transactions processing platforms, monitoring, reporting solutions are designed to meet the need of microfinance banks and other organizations in the following areas. Number one, multi-channel collections platform, support for payment channels and API integration, payment analysis and reporting, audit and reporting, alignment with tax management system. This addresses convenience of paying taxes, visibility, accountability, introduce innovation solutions to enhance service efficiency within the public sector. We also have lending solutions, we have fraud preventing solutions, and more. All these solutions are tried and tested solutions for over 20 years, used by corporate organizations in various sectors, which include banks, health sector, oil and gas, telecommunication, FMCGs, insurance, mobile payment operators, aviation, government, and more. TechConnect 4.0, as we are gathered here today, is the fourth edition of our strategic initiative to connect and bring together players in the fintech space across Nigeria to a common platform for interaction. This year's event has been captured unlocking growth and opportunities through technology and innovation. Nigeria's tech ecosystem is booming with innovations in payment processing, fintech, digital services leading to the change that we're experiencing in the financial space. Interswitch TechConnect 4.0 provides a unique opportunity to share, discuss, implement these innovations, across various sectors. This event will focus on practical solutions of everyday business challenges, insights, emerging trends, and show how technology can drive efficiency, customer satisfaction, and increase profitability. I therefore urge you that is seated here today to sit tight, relax, and get ready for a journey of overwhelming realm of financial technology emancipation. Let us join hands together to build Africa where digital payments are a seamless part of everyday life. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. They say, let's join hands together and build the Africa of our dream. And let's build the Nigeria of our dream. I think one of the things we're very passionate about in Interswitch is beyond just digitizing Nigeria is how do we make Africa a more connected country, right? It's always very painful when you really have to send things across Africa, and it's such a problem. It will have to first go to either Europe, go to US, and then before it gets to Africa. I think it's one of the things that keeps us awake at night to say, how do we solve this barrier? Even if we cannot solve it from a logistic perspective, but from a payment perspective, how do we solve it? And I want to believe that that's also one of the things that keeps some of us awake since we are innovators in the room. I know we're in a world where payment is changing. Technology is changing every day, you know. I was having a conversation with my son some weeks back, and he was trying to do something and trying to out. And I said, okay, fine, so what are you trying to do? And then he looks at me and said, oh, mommy, you cannot understand. It's not your generation. I'm like, I smiled. He said, it's not my generation. I just felt like 5 generations older suddenly. And I'm like, I'm still a youth guy. Like, he said it's generation alpha thing. I said, okay. I don't know if you still having those conversations with your kids at home. They're very generation conscious, you know. During our time, our children will only say, our mothers will only say children of nowadays. Now, this one, they just give you generation. They'll be like, yeah, Gen Z. Now, we now have generation alpha. The amount is even sharper than the Gen Z. We think Gen Zs are worse, right? And I was like, I just had to like, guy, come here. I say, I'm so proud to be a millennial, right? And it's my generation that saw between the old and the new. We saw when there was no light, we would turn TV by 4 o'clock. And we saw when we go to cyber cafe. All of us, our first email was opening those cyber cafes, right? Can I get some witness in the house, right? Our first email were opening the cyber cafe. And it was out of that, what's all this, that made us create this new generation that you're enjoying. So don't tell me that I cannot understand. But that's the reality of technology that we are in. When you think you finish understanding everything, now they're all shouting AI, AI. Some of us are even afraid that AI will take our jobs, right? Or some of us, we sit down every day. Technology just comes into our world. So in a world whereby either you innovate or you die. If you don't innovate, if you like stay there and say, oh, my MAB is in Otoke, because I'm in Otoke, my customers are around me. Trust me, give it 10, 20 years, all your elderly customer will fade out. You will be left with the generation of the people that tech is their word. So that's why we're very passionate about today's event, to say, how do we help you ensure that you begin to have that mindset? During the keynote address, he said something, lack of buying from the board, lack of buying from management, because they feel like when you give them one technology bill, you're trying to stifle them. But the question is, if you do not invest in technology, somebody else will, and will take over your customers. So in the next conversation we'll be having is, we know that one of the things we want to help you do is how do you help you grow your customers? The beauty of microfinance bank and fintech is the fact that even though we have all this various licensing regime, whereby if you're a tier 1 microfinance bank, you cannot go beyond a particular certain region. But when you go digital, there is no region in the digital space, right? So we've seen people with a tier 1 MFB license doing magic, right? So one of the things our next speaker will be talking about is how do we help you reach a whole lot of targeted audience for you to get more customers without necessarily leaving the environment and the vicinity where you are in. So I'll be calling on Fabio Abiola to help speak about deploying digital marketing for growth innovation. How do we deploy digital marketing for you to reach more customers, targeted customers, and be able to get more revenue inside? Because that's what we want to help you do today, right? These are part of the growth potential. So I will implore you that you please listen. He will speak a whole lot of statistics. He will speak a whole lot of how some banks that are within your spheres are doing, so that you can take 1 or 2 lessons and begin to implement that. So with a round of applause, let's please welcome Fabio Abiola. He's our divisional head for digital marketing in Interswitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Good morning, everyone. I'm sure we are excited on how we can move our business to the next level, and that's one of the reasons why we are here today. This is one thing to have a product that you sell. Is one thing to also know how to reach your customers, and then is one thing to also know how to reach them with a very, very low cost. And that's what digital marketing is here to help you do. So I'm going to start. So first, I'm a statistics person. If there is no data to tell you that what you're doing is right, then you will know how to improve it. So I always say, if you cannot measure, you cannot improve. Now I'm going to start with some statistics. This wasn't done by me. The source is Fintech Marketing Outlook Nigeria 2024 by African Fintech Summit. What this does was just to speak to a lot of fintech companies and understand where they play in terms of their marketing spend and what is driving specifically customer acquisition. Means how do they get new customers time over time. From here, we can see that there's field sales, referrals, programmatic advertising, events, partnership, content, paid advertising. I am sure we all play in this space one way or the other. Now, after doing this, we tend to understand that what are the key findings? For most of them, paid advertising, digital marketing took about 33% of their marketing budget in order to acquire new customers. Now, we asked a few questions like, why are they playing in this space? Traditional is very expensive, yet very, very useful. So I'm not standing here to debate whether you need to be on TV, whether you need to be on radio, whether you need to be on billboards, right? I'm standing here to say, you look inwards and understand how much you have to spend to get new customers and where your business is. Today, if I own a small bank, it will be very expensive for me to put my ads on TV or to compete with the big banks. Now the question is, I need to understand that level playing ground for everybody. Whether you're big, whether you're small, there's one level playing ground, and that level playing ground is digital marketing. And that's why I started with these stats. Now, after all these stats, the question would be, how do I go about this? I brought this out to change your perspective in terms of confusion. There's a lot of, when I speak to businesses or I speak to people, there's a lot of confusion that says, oh, this digital marketing, there's a lot, I'm confused, how do I start, what do I use it for? The first thing you need to understand is to look inwards and look at yourself and say, at the point that I am today, what do I want to achieve and how can digital achieve it for me? Number one, if I'm a business that thinks I'm playing local and I can't spend money to expand, my business might not expand physically, but with digital marketing, it's going to expand in terms of global reach. And if I use some examples outside our industry, I'll use samples like e-commerce companies like Jumia, like Konga. They are sitting in one city, however, they are serving the entire continent. That is what digital can do for you. Second is, I spoke about cost. Cost effectiveness is very big. If we are a business that wants to grow, we need to continue to look at how we can reduce our cost in terms of customer acquisition. That's where digital will come to. Then lastly, the third again is targeted marketing. Oh, I don't want to serve the entire continent. I'm in a city. I am in Asaba. I've walked through Asaba. and I've seen that most of my customers are in XYZ city or XYZ location, right? I don't want people in this other location to see my business because they are not useful to me. They are not spending money. How do I make sure that only people in XYZ location? So a typical example, if I was asked to run an ad today and say, oh, there's TechConnect happening at Bonn Hotel, and I want to make sure that only people here see the ads, because if people outside this place see the ads, it's not effective. It can do it for you. Now, measurable results, I'll speak about that. I talked about if you cannot measure, you can never improve. Whatever it is you do, if you cannot measure the success, you can't improve it. Digital gives you that. Personalization. I want to reach Fabio, or I want to reach Oge, I want to reach this person. It will do it for you. Now, to move to the next slide, I just need to look at this and reflect to it and say, with digital, you can achieve all, but you need to understand where you want to start from and what you want to achieve at a particular time. After doing your competitive analysis, if you see that, oh, my competitors, I think I need to beat them in brand building. I need to make sure that I'm the brand out there, that when they call my name versus my competitors, that's where I want to win. You choose that objective. Now, I say, after writing all those, I asked myself to say, there are 4 things that every business is trying to achieve, irrespective of that business. And when I start, you start to reflect, and you can also counter me if I'm wrong. But I'll ask, is there any business here that doesn't want to acquire new customers? If there's a business here that doesn't want to acquire new customers, you can counter me. Even NGOs, they want to acquire new customers. Is there any business that don't want that customer to convert to sales? That just want to acquire people and not get them to convert into sales? Okay. Is there any business here that wants to acquire customer, let the customer buy from the business, and lose the customer afterwards? Okay. Is there any business here that is not going to be excited if your customers are using your product and they are telling other people about your product? So like I say, these are the 4 business objectives. I need us to understand that digital marketing is never a standalone, right? If what you've been missing is, oh, it's a standalone, no, it has to hit a business objective. If it is not hitting that business objective, then you need to rework it again. Even if someone says, oh, we're going to have a global reach, you're going to reach 20 million people, the question you ask yourself is, after reaching the 20 million people, how do I make sure that they use my business? How do I make sure that they buy my product? That's why this growth we are talking about here is to help you streamline your thinking and your execution to make sure that it falls into this. Now, the question I'll ask is, has this happened before in our industry? I'll use Kuda, for example, Kuda Microfinance Bank. I don't know if you can see, but what Kuda did here, in 5 months, only digital marketing spend, they moved from 650K customers to 4 million customers. That's about 115% growth. I'm sure if we are very conversant with display ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, you would see that there was a time almost all the ads that you see are Kuda Microfinance ads. Now, what's the result of that? Moving from 650K to 115% increase. That is huge, very huge. Second person, I'll use MoneyPoint as an example. In 2 years, 15 million new customers downloaded their app to open accounts. In 2 years, 15 million. If I use a similar example to say, okay, how much did they spend in 2 years? I can, depending on how, I can say they spent roughly 2 naira to each customer here. 2 naira. To get 15 million. So if you do the calculation, in 2 years, they spend about 30 million to reach 15 million customers. Now, I'm not going deep down to see, okay, how much each of the customers are spending on a platform. But if I look at the average lifetime cycle of each of these customers are going to bring more than 2 naira to that business. Now, the last thing again is, okay, I've acquired all these customers. What else would I use digital for? I'll move to it. I'll use SunTrust Microfinance Bank. I talked about advocacy and retention. You need to continue to be in their faces. What SunTrust Microfinance Bank did is to use social media as life cycle marketing. Now, how did they do that? For instance, you acquired me, Fabio. I came into the, I opened an account. Maybe the account was about maybe a student account or a loan account, whatever case it is. But in about 3, 4, 5 months, we have developed, increased our capabilities, increased our products. That Fabio, the way he came into the business, there are other things that we want to sell for Fabio now, but I don't want to spend again to acquire Fabio the second time or the third time. That's what you use social media for and digital. Now, my point here is the confusion will go away if you understand growth based on what you want to achieve. So the question first is, what do I want to achieve? At this stage, is it new customers? At this stage, is it that I want to keep repeat business? Now, I'll go finally practical. What is the customer journey? And this is one of the most important slides so that you understand where you are. The first is, for every business, there's always a discovery stage. And that stage is the stage where customers are going to discover about your business. Now, in their head, there are two things. One, they are unaware about the product that you have. Whether it's you, whether it's your competitor, they are unaware. That's one category of the customers. The second is they are aware, they are problem aware. So two people, one does not know about the problem, the other knows about the problem. Now, but in this stage, two of them are trying to discover. One, they are trying to discover and they are focused on the problem or focused on the solution. The question is, when somebody that is unaware about a solution that your business offers, do they discover that it's your business that will solve that solution? That's the question here. Second is, somebody is aware of the problem and looking for the solution. With digital marketing, can you place yourself as the solution? Are you currently placing yourself as the solution? Look at your product bouquet and say, if somebody goes out there to search for this, will they find me? That's the thing. Now, digital marketing with some search ads and paid articles can help you achieve in the discovery stage. SEM is very simple. A lot of us, when we want to buy something or travel or do anything, one of the first places we go to, and if I'm right, please just signify so that I can know, is to go and search on Google. Is there anyone here that does not search on Google when they are looking for something? No one. The question is, if someone goes to search on Google for the product that you offer, for your offerings, the question is, are they going to find you? If they are not going to find you, your first strategy for digital marketing is to make sure that you are being discovered as running this. The second phase, let's confirm that they find you, you're everywhere. The second stage of this set of people, after finding this, is to consider. I found out the problem now, I found out the solution. The next thing for me is to consider, which of these solutions do I want to use? Which of these businesses offering this solution do I want to use? The question is, when customers are in this consideration stage, wherever they are, and this has nothing to do with boundary. Google search has nothing to do with boundary. Digital has nothing to do with boundary. In short, most people don't even want to walk into the business premises while looking for solutions to their problem. The question is, at this point, the customer is looking for value and need, looking for solution and features. The answer is, how can I achieve this with digital? You run your social media ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, whatever ads it is, that is specifically talking about the solution that your business offers. Because of time, we'll move to the last stage. There are some guys that they are very aware. They are not looking for the problem. When your customer moves from here to the product aware stage, at that point, the next time he's searching for something, he's not looking for the problem again. He's in a situation of, if he has considered your business and he has used your business, or is looking at reviews about people that have used your business or what your business footprint is, at this point, he's ready to make a decision. And this is your most important point. Now, the person that was there, if you use the full funnel strategy, right? The person that showed me the problem that help me to look for the solution, that is most likely the person that I will make a decision with. Most likely, if you're speaking with somebody, if you're speaking with a doctor, and a doctor tells you the cause of this sickness, all the way to the things you need to do, and it tells you this is how you should use your drug, you would believe that guy more than the one that just comes and says, what's wrong with you? Use Panadol. But someone that understands your journey to why your head started to pain you. Now, that is that phase. With digital here, you can then run your direct ads. It's simple. How many of us have tried to buy something, even thought about buying something online, and you find out, oh, I just thought about buying this shoe, this car, this shirt, and before you know it, every other website that you go to, you are seeing ads about that. Has anybody ever experienced this before? That is the decision stage. The digital marketer has understood that you have the intent to buy. And before the intent to buy, there's an intent to search. Before the intent to search, there's an intent to consider. Before the intent to consider, then there's a decision making. My question or my takeaway to you here is, if today someone is trying to discover that product that you sell, are you going to be discovered? If today somebody is trying to consider that product versus other things, are you going to be an option? Are you visible today? If today someone is trying to make a decision. Now, the final is, you might say, yes, people walk in, I have referrals, I have people that they know about it and all. The question is, about 80 million Nigerians outside your vicinity, your proximity, right, have the possibility to do business with you without you even leaving your premises. That is what digital can help you do. It's been achieved by MoneyPoint, it's been achieved by SunTrust, it's been achieved by Kuda, and you can also achieve this growth. And the final takeaway is, digital is very, very, very cost effective. Digital is ROI driven. For me today, if I'm giving XYZ amount, my minimum comeback is 5x because it can be calculated. Fabio, I'm giving you XYZ amount to run this digital ad so that I get new customers. The minimum I must bring back is 5x of that amount because it is targeted and it's calculated. So that's the end of my slide. I hope I was able to, I won't say convince you, but shape your mindset and make sure that you start your digital marketing journey to unlock your business growth. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fabio. But do we have anybody in house that probably have one or two questions, right? So Fabio was giving us a lot of stats, telling us the things you need to do for digital marketing, right? So let me come down to the microfinance space, right? You know, we're talking about the fact that we are in a world where all you need to do is you want to reach customers. Is there any company that does not want new customers? With a show of hands. So you can see that we all want new customers. But the question is, how do you reach your customer smartly? I was trying to do a bit of statistics last time to say that, you know, you can actually be in Asaba and do a targeted ads for only the people within your region, Asaba region, and say you want to reach people within the age of 18 to 25 or 18 to 50, and I want these personas of people so that they can, whenever they think about a microfinance bank or a product within the Asaba region, the first name that will pop out will be the name of your company. And it could be as low as 100,000 naira. So imagine you invest 100,000 and it can reach at least 2 million people. So let's go back, fast track, your traditional way today. For you to reach 2 million people today, how many sales agents do you think you would need? How much will you pay the sales agent? I'm sure we're all doing the math, right? So it simply means that with technology, by just a click of a button, I'm speaking your mind, right? By just a click of a button, I can reach 2 million people, and then I'll allow the ads to show every day such that I become top of mind when they think about Asaba, when they think about Edo, when they think about a microfinance bank or a fintech, and they'll be like, oh, I saw one ad. And we all know some of us have taken some decisions like that online. We're on Instagram, we just see a pair of shoes, and that's because you talked about shoe 2 days ago, and all the ads you are just seeing is shoes, shoes, shoes. And because it's something you desire, before you know, you just go and invest and buy. So what he has just tried to help you do and unravel is, you can grow your customers, but you don't have to get 1,000 sales agents to reach 2 million people. No, we've gone past that word. Right? We'll still have to do the traditional means, but with leveraging on digital technology, by using digital marketing tools, you can reach more people and convert them to be your customers. And that's the whole goal of this entire conversation today. So I have Fabio, he'll be available today. And just in case it's one of those thoughts you've been having in your mind, and you're thinking that, I really want to get more customers, but how do I go about it? All these things are far things. I need somebody to help me bring it home. Fabio will be available. He'll be just right there at the back. After today's session or during the course of the leg room, please meet him. He can teach you or send one of your tech people to him. He can tell them what they need to do and how they can just even do their first ad on Instagram, on YouTube, for them to be able to make your company very visible. We all want a company that will outlive us, right? So in other words, we have the right person in the room. In fact, as I will say, I donate him today. To everybody in this room, just ensure that today, Fabio does not leave without you having a conversation with him, because it would really help you to expand and grow more, and for you to be able to reach more customers. So I have one question for you, Fabio. Just please hold on.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Fabio Abiola, the second facilitator for today's session. Just like the first facilitator, my name is Mr. Johnson from Mega Praise Microfinance Bank, Warri. I think, yes, you have said you will be donating him to the entire, people here seated. But I'm sure, I'm afraid if he can attend to everybody, it will really be good if himself alongside the first facilitator and perhaps subsequent facilitators, you can have their contact so that we can as well engage them thereafter for further robust interrogation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that suggestion. As a worry man no dey carry last. In case I don't feel reach the guy today, I got to be able to reach him in the future, right? So again, yes, very apt. In terms of sharing contacts, no problem. We'll try and see how much of contact of Fabio we would release. But you see Emmanuel there, I will even paste his number on this wall. Once you reach Emmanuel, you reach everybody. But we'll also take into cognizance their availability for you to be able to reach them. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Fabio, for your time. We really appreciate it. So for the next conversation we'll be having, it's going to be a fireside chat. I'm sure it's just, there's no fire. That's what they just call it, fireside and chat. We'll not put fire, we'll just use the lights to form as if it's fire, right? So we'll be calling on Suliat Aliyu, who is the Principal Partner Manager for Interswitch, to come introduce the guest and the people that would be on the panel for us to discuss the topic, the role of collaboration between government and Fintech in digitizing microfinance bank business. Again, they said regulators and government are like the police in our lives within the fintech ecosystem, so that we don't innovate ourselves into trouble. We can innovate a lot. When we innovate, some people will innovate, they'll forget that there is need for you to go and put 2FA. There's need to impute PIN for your transaction. So we have regulators, we have the government to ensure to put some guardrails so that to ensure that we innovate within reasonable bounds, because customers have their money with us, and to ensure that their money is safe. So please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Suliat Aliyu to please introduce the panel members. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's very nice to meet you all. I'm very excited to be here today. So I'm going to be moderating the fireside chat segment of today's event, and what we're going to be discussing together with the panel members, which I'm going to be inviting up very shortly. Together with the panel members, which I'm going to be inviting up very shortly, is the role of collaboration between fintech and government in digitizing the financial services sector. And I'm sure that we can all agree that behind every successful transformation is a very strong support from the government, either in terms of policies or in terms of partnerships, right? And you know, it's when these two forces come together that you can actually unlock the full potential of financial institutions. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. So without further ado, I'll be inviting our esteemed guests up to the stage so that we can start the discussion. So our first guest is Mr. Charles Omodia, the Managing Director of Schoolsville Limited. And our second guest speaker is Nomso Ebonwu, the Head of Sales at Interswitch. Please give him a round of applause as well. You're welcome. Welcome on stage, and thank you for joining me. So I'm going to be asking our speakers a couple of questions and then allow them to share their unique insight and perspective as leaders in their respective spaces. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, great. So my first question will be going to Nomso. Nomso, so can you share with us why is it important for microfinance businesses and other financial institutions to embrace digital transformation?
Okay. Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. So maybe I'll start like this. So microfinance institutions are key drivers for financial inclusion in Nigeria, and that is one of the mandates of microfinance institutions. Now, what financial inclusion tries to do is it tries to get financial products across to customers.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that you can easier and more cost-effective way of getting those financial products across to customers is through digitization, technology. So just like Emmanuel had said in his presentation, nobody carries cash anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody carries a card. Nobody says, I want to pay you money, I want to give you a ton of cash. I'll say, I'll do a transfer to you. I say, I want to get a card. I walk into a branch and they instantly give me a debit card. All of these things are driven by digitization. Yeah. And Interswitch, as a company, for 20 years or 22 years, has been at the forefront of creating solutions, building infrastructure, and on top of that infrastructure, layering solutions that banks and financial institutions can take advantage of. So that's what
Thank you very much. I mean, it is very clear that digital transformation is beyond just a trend, right? It's beyond just a buzzword. And I think it's something that has become a necessity for financial institutions, for them to be able to stay competitive, and like you rightly mentioned, to be able to serve more customers and drive financial inclusion. So building up on that, I mean, let's also explore how government policies and relevant partnership can further accelerate this kind of transformation. So my next question will be for you, Mr. Charles. So we'd like to hear from you. What would you say are the key benefits of collaboration between government and fintech in driving this digitization for financial institutions such as the MFBs and the likes?
Okay, so good morning, everyone. The key benefit there, we'll look at the opportunity government need to create for enabling environment too, because almost everything we can do, if you want to get a real business done, you actually need government.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could remember when I get started with Interswitch about 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So at a point, you know, you guys keep on asking, bring this, bring that, and all that. So that is all level of compliances. Yeah. And that has actually led to proper documentation with my organization. So that compliance is good, but we also said providing that benefit also means that a whole lot of business will have opportunity to grow as long as government as enablers provide that platform for us to grow. So it's good that government come in place to also put human capital development too. It's also key benefit to that too. So there's a lot government can do to make fintech industry to also grow and create job opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I like that you highlighted the power of collaboration in terms of achieving actual results for different sectors, and also how important it is for you to have supportive government policy. So let's further elaborate on that, Mr. Charles. Can you give us some examples of some of the key initiatives that the government has introduced to foster growth and innovation across different sectors, not only the financial sector?
Okay, so let's take very closely look at on federal government, right? Digital skill is very important for the today technology space. So federal government has just introduced 3MTT program, which were also one of the organizations training for the program too. Then on a state level too, Delta State government, we have also done series of programs that encourage a whole lot of tech space, from cyber security to web development. And importantly too, so many other individuals also come in paying for these courses, short practical-based courses at a very leveraged time. So generally government too has also introduced some level of digital infrastructure too, which is also the foundation of the growth in digital space. So we really need government to do more so that there will be a lot of benefit to the public. So for government, we'll keep on pushing more further to see how much this collaboration with government can enhance digital space across the country. But generally, I think they're also pushing hard. They need to also double their effort so that the general public can benefit the advantage of working with government. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. I think, Nomso, you want to add to that?
No.
Okay. So, I think we can all agree as well that Delta State is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. When we came into the state, my colleague also mentioned it that, you guys are blessed in this state. The infrastructure is there, the environment is clean, the government is supporting with the right policies as well. And I think another example, Mr. Charles, is also the Innovation Hub, right, which is just down the road there. And we're talking about how this is actually a proactive move by the government to ensure that there is continuous growth and innovation, in bringing up and empowering the future leaders that would eventually be the one to shape the future of this digital space. So thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, thank you. Then I also chip in something here too. For some time now, if you also look at the growth in fintechs, there's a lot of individual encouragement too. A lot of Nigerians are also taking the drive by themselves to push further on the knowledge space. Because we as a technology education company, we have seen effort individuals are putting to learn this technology as is evolving. So more importantly too, for the past 8 years, Delta State government has trained so many SMEs, all right? So these micro businesses that we see springing up across the state is also, encouraging a lot of opportunity for fintechs. So for those microfinance banks and also other financial institutions, it's strongly recommended that their products should also be taken straight down to them, because we have a lot of back of this individual who involved in these smaller scale businesses. So it's a wide something that they need to tap into. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. And maybe just to add, maybe just to start by saying well done to yourself and your team, because I think you guys are doing a fantastic job in Delta State here. For me, the way I see it is the government has a role to play in driving technology. And that is by creating an enabling environment for technology or people that are interested in technology to thrive. And I think that's one of the things your innovation hub is doing quite well. And we want to see a propagation of such things across the region. I mean, just for the fact that I came from Benin and it was a 3-hour drive, meaning from Benin all the way to Onitsha, to Enugu, to Imo, to Owerri. All of these areas are closely interconnected. I'm sure people do trade between both states, and there's a lot of relationships and intercommunication. I believe that as it grows in Delta, it's something will start in Warri, something will start in Edo State, something will start in Onitsha. And just from here, you might be able to see that some of the guys that you are currently training in your hub would go on to build solutions around this area. One thing that technology does is technology brings a lot of growth, especially within the industry or the economies where the technology is cited. And it will surprise you that some of the technologies that we use today are very, very remote. I'll give you an example. Skype. The company called Skype is somewhere in Estonia. But we all use Skype today for communication. We don't know where Skype is, but it will surprise you to know that it's somewhere in Estonia, in Tallinn. That's where their head office is. And they do their business. It's a global business, but they do it from here. So why can't a global business start from Asaba, or start from Warri, or start from Edo State? Yeah. That's how it sits.
Absolutely, Norm. So, it's quite interesting, and thank you for mentioning the ripple effect that technology brings as well. We've seen this across many different sectors. And, who says the next Facebook or the next Skype, like you rightly mentioned, can't come from Delta State? So thank you for the addition to the point as well. And to further ask you, Norm, so in what ways can fintech solution further scale the financial services sector? What kind of specific digital tools and solutions can sector player leverage to meet specific needs of their customers?
So one thing that financial technology and technology in general helps us to do, it helps us to create solutions that are unique to customer need.
Yeah.
So back in the day, banking was a one-size-fits-all. Everybody, you go and you open either a savings account or a current account. You get a passbook, you sign it, you go and queue up, sign it, and collect your money. But now you have a mobile app where you can request for a physical card, you can request for a virtual card. You can choose to use internet banking. You can choose to use USSD. You can choose to turn on dark mode on your mobile app. You can keep it light. You can choose to hide your account details. You can choose to leave it open. It gives customers choices. And it caters for a lot of people. At the same time, coming down to microfinance institutions, it gives your customers the opportunity to engage with financial services. Before in the past, a lot of people would struggle because they didn't have banks close to them. But the last time I went to my village, there were more than 10 POS terminals doing agency banking cash out. So I didn't need to look for a bank. All I needed was, I have my debit card, I just go and collect cash. And everybody's transacting. So I think one of the things it does is brings financial services closer to the people that need it. And I think that's very important. At the same time, it helps the financial institutions to also grow other parts of their business. I'll take lending, for example. In the past, a financial institution in Delta State might not be able to lend to anybody in Lagos because that's not where their customer they feel is in Delta State, right? So they probably want to lend to businesses or people that work here and have their salaries here. But with technology, you can do things like value financing, which is a digital product that allows you to lend money to somebody in Ogun State because they are all on the same platform, right? The information that they need is the same. Oh, I know you have a job. The system has looked at your account history and seen that there's activity there. And if it's based on my risk criteria, I can take on that lending and say, I don't know you from anywhere, but you're on this platform, I can lend certain small amounts to you. And that can only happen with technology. So an MFB here can actually spread their lending base to customers that they might not be in the same geographic region with. And I think that's important as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dom. So I know we have a lot of MFBs in the room. So can you also speak to the infrastructure, right? The kind of infrastructure in terms of the core banking and the likes that microfinance banks can leverage to scale up their businesses? I'm sure a lot of people in the house here are looking for the next thing that they want to do with their business. How can they grow? How can they leverage solutions that companies like Interswitch is providing for them to be able to have the right infrastructure, the right security to be able to serve their customers?
Okay. So one of the things that Interswitch does quite well is our infrastructure side of the business. And the infrastructure side is what has allowed us to create all of the solutions that we give today. A core banking application, you ask any MFB in the house, a core banking application is one of the main parts of their business. It's important to them because that's where their customer information is, that is where the debit and credit accounts and all of that, and create loans and all that. So at Interswitch, we have created solutions that allow your core banking application to ride on our solutions to do things like card issuance, and to drive transactions, to drive your ATM terminals, and all of that. And all of those infrastructures, all of those things that you are able to do for your customers are driven by the infrastructure that Interswitch provides. At the same time, we provide some of these things as well. Our core banking application is available. Our MBAS and fraud as a service and all of those things are available to the microfinance banks to ensure that you're not only providing services for your customers, you are also keeping their money safe as well. Unfortunately, the bad actors, as we continue to innovate, the bad actors are also innovating as well. And so it's important that you have a core banking application that is resilient and can withstand any shocks from such actors. So on the infrastructure side, we are able to connect to you. At the same time, we are able to provide those services as well.
Thank you, Nomsu. Also, let's hear from Mr. Charles as well. Can you share with us what kind of government policies can help or do you think are in place to support the financial services sector?
Okay, so for government policy, I said it earlier, the real business is being controlled by government with so many policies. So Nigeria as a whole, we want to grow, so there should be a level of better policy implementation in line with the trend. So technology today is evolving, the landscape is drastically changing. So if we want to keep pace with what is happening in the world, global world today, so federal government require to be updating the policy. Okay, let's take good instances on that. There was a project we have as a company, so we needed loan for microfinance bank. So that microfinance bank, because we started with them about 10 years ago, so the growth of taking loan from them to implement projects has been from 1 million naira to 2 million, 5 million, because the credits, we are returning back the loan we are taking from them. So there is better credit history with them. So we get a project that require more than 100 million. We approach them, say, look, we can't do more than this because of the policy. So this is where the challenges comes in with government, making it flexible for them. So we have to go for commercial bank for the loan. So loan was given to us, project was implemented, and money was also paid back. So these policies, government need to critically look into it, especially in Nigeria today. We have so many of the younger generation learning interesting, skill, doing a lot of fantastic projects. This project they are working on, the platform, the software they are building, they are just waiting for the right opportunity to connect with financial institutions. So for those of microfinance bank that is also here to leverage on this, solution that this young generation are building too. The same time again, like Interswitch, your platform is also very helpful in terms of switching for payment collection. So we also know that because you are there with other fintech in the country, there is a lot can be connected with these, individuals and small SME company that are also building very interesting policy. So we need government to always change the policies just to make it an inclusive for all financial sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Now let's move to the last question for this segment. I think I'm going to allow Nomso to answer this. So what advice can you give to MFBs and other financial institutions that are embarking on their digital transformation journey? You know, as a new player that is trying to come into this space, how can they define their digital strategy? How can they drive awareness of their solution and ultimately be able to scale up and achieve the growth that they want?
All right, thank you. I think the first and most important thing is be clear on what you want to achieve, and be clear on the digital strategy that you want to use. And there's a reason why. It's because when you have clarity on what you want to do, you are able to plan and you are able to budget accordingly. One of the things that we take for granted is the fact that technology is expensive. It costs money. And if you don't have a proper plan, then you will spend a lot of money on technology that you might or you might not need. So it's important for you to have a clear, defined plan on what type of technology you want to do, what you want to deploy, and how you want to deploy it. That's the first thing. The second is you want to create products that your customers need. So you need to be able to identify certain products, certain ecosystems that you want to play in or you want to work in, and can try to create products around it. I was having a conversation quite recently with an MFB, and they were saying that they were creating a product for churches. Some are coming out with products for schools. Some are coming out with products for government workers, lending to government workers. So you need to be able to look at your area or your area of focus or expertise and create products around that will fit the need of your customers. And the final thing is partnerships. Partnerships is very, very important. You cannot do it alone. You need to partner with companies that have expertise. There's one thing that my MD keeps says is you need to make a decision whether you want to build or you want to buy, right? Not everything that you build. It's not everything that you say, oh, I'll do it myself. You partner with people that already have the solutions and, you know, create avenues for everybody to share revenue, you know, share knowledge. Partnership with government is also key. I think that's one of the things that Charles is doing quite well. And, you know, driving policy changes, driving government to look at technology as something that they can invest in. Because an investment in technology is an investment in the future. Yeah. So looking at technology, as government should look at technology as something that they can invest in. Look at the microfinance banks and see what is their need? Because they are the ones that are closest to the people. What is their need? How can you help them create solutions that would meet the needs of the people? I think that's very important as we go along in this journey.
Thank you very much, Dom. So, you know, I mean, I like that you pointed out that even though, I mean, you're going to an already saturated space, microfinance business, it is still important to create your niche as a business, and I think you've been able to highlight that perfectly. So I think we've come to the end of the fireside chat. Thank you so much to both our guest speakers for a very insightful discussion. I mean, a lot of key nuggets have been shared, and I'm sure that we probably have one or two questions from the audience that you would like to ask our speakers here. So I think I'm going to hand over to our MC, Susan, to help us coordinate the Q&A. I can already see a couple of hands up, so maybe it will take like 3 questions or so. Susan, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have, okay, let's start with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much and good morning. My name is Abraham Usieki and I'm with Schoolview. Now, I have a question for Interswitch. Talking about collaboration and talking about infrastructure, collaboration, government is collaborating with private sectors on different scale and churning out policies. one of the policies government shunned out some time back was the cashless policy. And we saw the reactions of Nigerians to this cashless policy. Now, the setback of that policy was because of the lack of infrastructure. Now, one of the bridge we have been able to accomplish in Schoolview is to educate users and also create the ecosystem that provide some of these solutions. However, Nigerians, talking about technology, we are so tilted towards software. What is Interswitch with other private sectors here? What are they doing to bridge this software policy and physical infrastructure? For example, I believe if there was a means where people can make transfer or stuff easier, not just when you begin to factor in internet, it will go along with Nigeria. It's not ready for cashless policy, but it is the future. The question is, what is Interconnect, Interswitch, and other private sector, Mr. Charles Omodia, what are they doing to position themselves for physical infrastructure? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I didn't get your name, please. Mr. Abraham. Thank you so much, Mr. Abraham. You made a lot of good points, and you have captured it quite well. But I wouldn't say Nigeria is not ready for cashless policy. We are on a journey. And if you look at when the cashless policy first started and where we are today, you would see that there's been a lot of things that have changed. I remember last year when we had the Naira redesign. Remember that when there was no cash anywhere? A lot of people had to fall back to doing transfers. A lot of people had to fall back to using agents and all of that. And I think in Interswitch, we recorded maybe times 3, times 4 of the average annual transactions that we do in a year. We recorded times 3 or times 4 that in 1 month, which shows that the cashless policy can work, and we just need to drive towards it. Now, coming to the infrastructure side, I think we all have a part to play in infrastructure. The government has a part to play. The private sector also has a part to play. In terms of the government needs to create the enabling environment for infrastructure providers to do what they do. The government needs to provide things like electricity, things like stable internet services, and all of those things that people need to do their businesses. So that's the government part to play. Enabling environment, maybe the financing sometimes, but again, enabling environment. With private sector, what we need to do is create products that can reach every single class of business. So if you are a bigger business and you want to invest in infrastructure and you have the financing, fantastic. Interswitch can provide that infrastructure for you. If you're a mid-sized business or a mid-sized financial institution, we have our shared platforms that you can come on board. So there's a shared platform for fraud, there's a shared platform for internet, for mobile banking, there's a shared platform for card issuance, there's a shared platform for instant card issuance. All of these things are available, and you just come and plug in when you want to use the service. And that creates a level playing field for everybody, whether you're a big business or a mid-sized or a small business. You're able to come in and deliver the same or similar services to your customers. And I think that's what we are doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sure they want to hear from the director is one of the questions. Some of the questions to you too. Okay. What should government be doing to help us?
Well, let me also start from the discussion we had when you guys visited at the hub yesterday. So it was good news that the Interswitch is already making a plan to have a hub in Asaba next year. Am I right? You guys are working something like that. I think those are the process of connecting the ecosystem. If they're able to bring private hub to Delta State, it's going to help a lot of, people to key into, have access to internet and also have a place, a co-working place where they can as well, do their work. But generally, I would say both Nigeria and state government still need a lot to be done on physical infrastructure. As we speak, I know some of my students too, who also taking some extra step just in order for them to work, because today's work is micro work. You don't really need a whole lot of, generator or power or internet. Just you, your laptop, and even if it's one battery, all right? So government should not be a problem to our success in this global community. And I'm telling the youth here, don't leverage because government has not bring the internet, or just try get your laptop, get your power by corner of your room. You are there working with the whole world. So it should not be our limit to success. Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Okonta. I want to direct this question specifically to Nonso. You are telling us about some of your solutions being provided by the Interswitch. You made mention of Interswitch core banking application. My question is, what is the handshake between Interswitch core banking solution with state government payroll? Because you said with your solution, I can be here and be banking with someone in Ogun State, and let's say I'm a civil servant. I've collected loan from one of these finance houses, deducting my whatever it is from source. And here comes your solution. Because I need money, I want to take advantage of your position in Ogun State. So how does your application address this need, for inclusiveness, transparency, security, risk management? Please, I want to know.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure a few of my colleagues will be laughing because we got exactly the same question sometime this week when we engaged with a client or a customer in Benin. And it's important because money is easy to give out, is hard to collect, right? So, and all of us are in microfinance banking. We know that quite well. So I think it's quite important. So the way I'll answer it is this. I think partnership is key. And you mentioned there's payroll, you mentioned Interswitch, and you mentioned also yourself as a finance provider. I think between the three parties involved, there has to be partnership between three of them and open communication between three of them. Because Interswitch, from where we sit, we create technology solutions to enable you connect to the payroll and payroll to connect to the bank. And that way you can have seamless exchange of value. One of the things that we've done quite well is partnering with payroll providers, and we continue to do that. So there are a few of them that we partner with already. And what it allows us to do, it allows us to connect through APIs where we are able to see when the customers are paid or when the staff is paid. We will see how much the staff has borrowed in the past, and you're able to credit score those staff or those individuals based on the history that you have on them. So you'd see that the systems or the solutions that we have would identify when someone's over leveraged and has already taken loans, and the system will automatically not advance loans to those individuals. Now, at the same time, it's important we have open communication because we also need to rely on the employers to also let us know when the staff are over leveraged or have other loans, so that we are able to either moderate the amounts that are given to them or totally say no to certain individuals that are already over leveraged. So I think that's one of the ways. And then again, we have our risk solutions that allow for us to monitor customer transactions to ensure that when you start to see transactions that are out of the ordinary, some of these things are flagged. And so today, some of our risk solutions, like the ARIC risk solution, will flag transactions that are out of out of the ordinary. If a transaction is repeated transactions at certain times or odd times, it will flag it, and we're able to tell the financial institution like yourself what's going on in his accounts. We are seeing certain transactions. So, all of those things are things that our solutions bring to the table.
I guess if I leave Nonso to continue, we literally do a full product marketing, right? So Nonso, thank you so much for answering those questions. But the beauty of this is the fact that we would have people that would come talk about this product that he's talking about, right? They will talk about the fraud solution. They will even talk about the lending and loan. So they will answer they will answer what you really want to hear, because Nonso has actually started saying everything. But let's just wait for the product presentation. Just keep your finger crossed. You will get to hear some of the solutions and how we can really help you. And one of the things with the core banking, we call bank as a service, is the fact that because we're Interswitch, right, most of the solutions that we currently have today are already tied native to it. So you will not have that complexity of saying, I don't have a new core banking, come and tie ASPFP to it, come and tie ILS to it, come and tie Pay Direct to it. It's already tied by default. So there's already that seamless integration. So it's like just having one box delivered to you with so many things you can cherry pick from. But again, as I said, I would allow the product team, during the product presentation, to be able to speak more about some of the solutions and how you can harness it to be able to grow your business. No more question. Okay, he's answered your question. Okay, a lot of questions today. Please hold on.
Good morning, all. Thank you, the panelists and the moderator. My name is Emodi Marian. I work with Delta State Ministry of Health, the Monitoring and Evaluation Officer. My target is to ensure that there is a quality and a timely documentation of health data, which the state is yet to achieve. So my question goes to both. How can Interswitch connect in the age of helping to get a quality and a timely health data for the state in terms of health statistics? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Do you
want to speak to it?
Yeah, I can, of course. Thank you very much. And I once again say welcome to you. I wasn't expecting a question on health data management, but I'm happy to take it on. So at Interswitch, we have several verticals that we create solutions for. And one of such verticals is what's called our eClat business. And it's a suite of health management platforms, from EMR systems to data management systems, that are able to help organizations like yourself, whether it's the hospitals or the hospital management like yourself, to drive data collection, data integrity, and are able to get as much information on clients and the populace as possible. The team from eClat is not here at the moment, but what we can do is we can set up engagements with you and the team, and they can take it further. I think we recently launched something in Lagos with Lagos State Government called Lagos Ship, and it's driven by Lagos State Government and eClat, and it is exactly what you have just mentioned. It's data management, having a centralized base of data of all individuals in the state, where you walk into a hospital, and any hospital that you walk in will be able to see all of the information about you, about your health history, and all of the data that you need. In emergency situations, you just go on the platform and you're able to tell who this person is, what their blood group is, what their genotype is, and all of that information that we need as a society to thrive and to grow our healthcare. So I can ensure that an engagement is set up with yourself and your team, and then we can take on the conversation from there.
All right, thank you very much. Do you want to add one or two things to that?
Yes,
Okay,
let me also add more to that. For different state government MDAs, just like the Ministry of Health, she's requested to, interestingly, there is already a lot of data flying across MDAs. So we also, with what's currently happening in Nigeria today, where the NIMC has their own database, the banks, through the BVN, also have their database. that can actually have a handshake with government platform, including the Interswitch healthcare solutions. So it's about 4 years ago, we actually wrote in partnership with Interswitch and ByGo too. We wrote to state government, right? We got an approval to implement health solutions. It was a tripartite arrangement, Interswitch, ByGo, and my company. So we got an approval, but interestingly, when the letter came, the letter said at no cost, you know. So we're wondering how will government want us to, you know, run this project at no cost. So interestingly, what we asked for that solution is a level of some small scale percentage that could have made collection seamless, and at the same time, and the medical records should have, you know, their history, so that it can tie to all government hospitals. So I think now that she's here, we're also going to look at the possibility to bring out that project and also look into it with the state government. Thank you, madam.
And let me also add, right, one of the challenges today in the health sector with respect to data is patients' record being available from one hospital to another. Like if you go to one hospital and want to transfer to another hospital, and making sure they have your accurate record to be able to continue the treatment. So one of the things that the solution does, or what we're trying to pilot with the Lagos State government with the SHIP, is the interoperability amongst all the hospitals in the state, so that patient records are widely available, provided there is approval. You can easily call up the record and the data, and the patient will be able to continue their care without any hitch. So like Mr. Charles and Nomso has mentioned, I think it's something we can also explore with the Delta State as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very, very much. You can see in Interswitch, we're doing a whole lot to solve a lot of problems from different verticals. In health sector, we are there. In the payment sector, we are there. In the government sector, we are there. So we are just that one-stop shop. We just want to be sure that life is easy for everybody. So let's give a round of applause to the panelists. I'm sure you've gleaned one or two things from them and the things we are doing. Please, pictures, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, we want to take your picture. Thank you. All right, thank you very much, everyone. We really appreciate your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, when we started this morning, for those that came in late, I said I have one job I have to do here today. Beyond just all this plenty talking, I said we're very intentional with networking amongst ourselves and collaborating amongst ourselves, right? So again, this is the point where I have to do the work of the Lord. We have to network again. We have to collaborate again, right? I can see that we have a lot of new faces on some seats. So beyond just the new faces, so we are going to do again neighbor. Say neighbor.
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 Neighbor, bobo.
Neighbor, bobo.
Okay, fine. Some of you already have one neighbor that you've spoken with this morning. We're not going to talk to that neighbor anymore. We're going to talk to another neighbor entirely. So if there's a neighbor beside you that you didn't have the privilege to speak with this morning, just please look at that neighbor and say, good to see you. Introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and if you were not who you say you are by virtue of your company, what will you be doing now?
My name is Emmanuel. Wait and take. I work with Interswitch.
So if you are not working in Interswitch, what else would you be doing now?
I would have been a talkative.
Yeah, Emmanuel said you'd be a talkative. No, I think if I was not here, I think I'd have been a lawyer.
Being a lawyer?
Yes, I like
the
law.
The lie will go lie. God never said that lie.
So please, I just met Emmanuel differently, right? So if you've not met the neighbor beside you, please and please. I'm not your only neighbor. Some people are looking at me. Yes, but it's your neighbor you should talk to now. Neighbor, I'll come and pay the neighbors together very soon. Neighbors, please just talk to yourself. Have conversations. Oh, Bishop, good to meet you.
You know, it's for the woman to be alone. That's why I came to help her, so that she will not feel that she's alone here. There are personalities from Delta State government who would like to meet, and other personalities that will meet during the award-giving ceremony. But ladies and gentlemen, while you're meeting, permit me to introduce the representative of the Commissioner of the Ministry of Science and Technology, Delta State, ably represented by Mologe Blossom. Thank you very much. Commissioner, we have your representative in the hall. Thank you. Also from the Director of Planning, Research, Statistics and ICT, Delta State, we have a representative, Mr. Apofure Emmanuel. Thank you very much for coming. We want to appreciate again the Delta State government for hosting us and all the institutions that are giving us support from this part of Niger Delta. Other dignitaries, we know you are here, but we would rather recognize you during the award-giving ceremony that we are going to have after this session. Thank you very much. Susan?
All right, thank you very, very much to all the dignitaries in the room. We are all dignitaries anyway, so please give yourself a round of applause. I'm saying we are all dignitary. You are not dignitary. Okay, we are all, the power vested on me in this occasion, I pronounce you dignitary. Please clap for yourself. All right, I'm sure we've been having good conversations, right? I think the next thing we'll be doing is the panel session. But before going for the panel sessions, I'd just like to do a recap of what we've heard today, right? Just in case you're wondering, okay, I've been here, what have we learned, what have we heard? And again, I'm going to ask you questions after we're done with today's event. So just tell me one or two things you'll be taking away from here. We started with keynote address, where we talked about the need for innovations and digitization. The next thing we talked about was digital marketing. How do you leverage digital channel to grow and scale your business? And the third thing we talked about was having a fireside chat, what the government are doing. We decided to bring in sometimes people that work a lot with the government. Because sometimes the only Bible scripture would say that my people of knowledge that the government are really doing that we are not aware of. So that was the reason why we brought about the fireside, so that I can know some of the things, innovations the government are even doing from their own end that you can tap into for your company to be able to grow and scale. We've talked about that. And the next conversation we'll be having is providing resilience for financial institutions in the face of all house, and you'll be fine. But permit me to tell the representative that, to buy fuel to have the laptop in your room now is very hard. So one way or the other, we still need the government in our lives to make the world a whole lot for us, right? And we are hoping that the government is listening and they will do something for us so that we can continue to innovate without so much issues. So we're going straight to the panel, right? I'll be calling out the various panelists. Those people I'll be calling today are people that have wealth of experience again in their various fields. And I'm hoping that we would listen to see how do we build resilience in this particular age where innovation is moving at the speed of light, and where the fact that while innovation and the economy itself has we intend to innovate and acquire the customer that we have. So the first person I'll be calling to the panel, my first panelist will be Chidi Okbara. He's a partner manager in Interswitch. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. Please clap. Thank you. Then the next person I will call is Okonta Chukuyem, Managing Consultants, Bigot Limited. Thank you. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you so much. The person I will call upon will be Patrick Ohim. Okay, is an name. Ohimame. Ohimame. Okay, the H is silent. This is my brother. Patrick Ohimame, MD CEO, Revelation MFB. Please, if you want to receive some revelations, clap your hand. Revelation MFB, thank you. Then I will call on Ibrahim Lamidi Usman, MD Afek Cafe MFB. Thank you very much.
Go village, go.
I'll go village more. I don't think I actually schooled in my village. I'll do better. Thank you very much. And then the last person I will call is none other than Emmanuel himself. Emmanuel Walkocha.
I'm here.
He's our group head for the South region. Okay, thank you very much. And my humble self, Susan Fashikbe, will be the axer of the question, if there's any word like that. They said I'm the moderator, right? Again, blessed am I amongst all men. Please, the next session, please, can we have some representative from ourselves in this panel? Okay. So, we'll be talking about building financial resilience, the intersection of microfinance, fintech, and fostering business growth, right? building financial resilience. So when I hear the word resilience today, I just know that we need resilience to continue alone in this country. Then beyond just resilience alone to continue, we now need financial resilience, which is the thing affecting all of us, right? So the question is, we've seen how business over the years have grown and evolved. And one of the things that you would agree with me that you need a lot to be able to wade through the very interesting climate or sector that we are in is resilient, right? And that's because while you think you've gotten everything together, there is one regulation that comes up, right? You are still trying to balance out the regulation. Another one will come out. While you are still trying to catch up, another one will come out. Sometimes you almost feel like, okay, it's like they're after me, right? But again, you know you need grit to be able to overcome what is thrown at you for the betterment of your company and for the betterment of the ecosystem you're in, right? So I'm going to ask a quick question, right, to Mr. Patrick, right? How do you think the microfinance financial landscape has evolved over the years? And what role has the fintech played in reshaping the microfinance industry?
Thank you so much. Like you stated, my name is Patrick, Revelation MLB. And if you ask me, the fintech and the MLB, it's a long story. You should look at the story, how MLB started in 2005. And before that time, what it was up to do was just to talk about small loans, gather people together, community, and that is what they were doing. Before that, 2005, when we got to this MLB era. And what this thing has done is that digitization, the fintech plus the MLB, they've taken us to where we can never get to on our own. That is the handshake. Naturally, you look at payments that we are talking about here, you look at mobile apps that we're talking about, you look at other statements, other payment solutions. These are things that naturally wouldn't happen. But because of fintech and the collaboration with MFBs, using APIs and other things, we are able to get to that particular position.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ibrahim, you want to add one or two things to that?
Thank you so much. My name is Ibrahim Usman, CEO of Cafe Microfinance Bank. Let me go specifically. I came from Akoko Edo local government, the remotest local government in Edo State. And so when we came up with the idea of having a microfinance bank there, we did a survey. And the report of the survey says that it will not survive. I said, how will it not survive? Honestly, the tool we used to ensure that that bank is not only surviving, is virtually dominating Edo State, is digitization. Some person use it, digitalization or digitalization. And so the moment we were registered, the first thing we did was to onboard NIPS. We have the possibility of seeing other banks and other financial institutions equally seeing us. And then the next thing we did is to begin to ensure that we build that kind of the level of competence and strength that beats the competition we're getting from the OPs, the money points, the PAMPs, and the commercial bank. For instance, services could be taken up by individuals that have account with us. Beyond that, we are revolutionizing our banking system into a... And so, a lot of thanks to Interswitch. From 2021, we are having a discussion with them. We're having challenges, of course, how to raise funds, but we've been able to go around it. I think by 1st of November this year, by the grace of God Almighty, we'll be onboarded on Interswitch. And when we are on board, we are looking at a minimum of 300,000 additional customers coming to the database of the bank. And so this is the extent to which we are looking at resilience. It's already part of us. And
thank you very, very much. I like this real life example, right? so many things, how you started, and people assume you cannot get there. But with so much resilience and leveraging on digitization, I like the way you were able to bring it home. So that I'm sure people are already looking and probably would approach you after to say, what are you doing differently, right? How are you able to compete with the bigger players in the market? And again, as I always say, the beauty of microfinance bank is that you're closer to your people. You know more of their pain point, right? So in other words, if you're going to digitize, you will digitize based on what you think they need, right? So thank you so much for telling us how far you've come as a business. I think my next question probably would go to Emmanuel, right? What do you think are the major opportunities that have been presented by the intersection between the microfinance and the fintech? What are the main opportunities that have arisen? I know Mr. Ibrahim has mentioned some, Mr. Usman has mentioned some. What are some of them? Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. A lot has happened between the microfinance banks and Interswitch and the digital era, all right? So one of the things that stands out in digitizing your microfinance bank service is that you are opened up to wide range of product and services that the four walls of a banking hall will not allow you to perform. Longer rural banks, they are of digitization.
Give yourself a round of applause,
right?
Bank,
so
please.
yes, like you said, either Afekafe Microfinance Bank or Revelation MFB somewhere in Edo, somewhere, wherever. With a mobile app, somebody in the UK or in the Canada can open an account and process transactions seamlessly. So that is giving the microfinance bank universal coverage. All right, so you're no longer running a microfinance bank with the mindset that you just want to service one small community. It opens up the mindset of global financial services to the microfinance bank. That is major, among many other things.
Thank you very much. I would like Mr. Okonta to add one or two things to it. What are the opportunities you think that has been bettered by this intersection between the fintech and the microfinance bank collaborating together?
Okay, on a quick one of the benefits of the handshake between fintech and MFIs or microfinance banks is reduction in cost of operation. You see, just like when the CEO of African Fair Microfinance Bank was discussing, he said they decided to eliminate counter service. As soon as you come in, you know, that elimination is cost effectiveness as a result of handshake with fintech. So one of the major benefits of their interception is cost reduction.
Thank you
in terms of operation.
Thank you very much. Chidi, you want to add one or two things to it? I'm coming back to that cost reduction because I'm sure some people are already nodding their head here. But Chidi, do you want to add one or two things to that? Thanks.
Yes, so I would like to add to this. So in terms of benefits, you look at data. Data today is the new oil, right? Today with the MFE's operations in different locations, rural areas, you're able to mine those data. You know the number of customers you have in those rural areas. And with what we've offered also as Interswitch, we're looking at using alternate methods of getting internet banking to the rural areas where you talk about the offline using the USSD to reach out to the customers. They're using it to execute operations, make transfers, and etc. So that's gathering of information that we're using to drive more inclusions. We're talking about education, we're talking about health, we're talking about agriculture. That gives us an idea of what people are doing in those regions where we cannot really get into.
Thank you very, very much. Data is the new world, right? So you at least be able to get data. It's very, very critical. Yeah, I know we've talked about financial resilience. Most of the panelists have talked about how far they've come, the opportunity that exists. But we know this opportunity does not come without its challenges, right? It's okay to say innovate, but at what cost? You know, my guy was saying that price reduction, but I'm sure the very day you give the capital of what it takes to make counterless, I'm sure your board will not see it as price reduction. They will only see price reduction by the time you can do a lot of Excel sheet, right? So I'll ask Mr. Ibrahim, right? What are some of these challenges you think you face, right? It's okay to say you're doing counterless, but what were the challenges you faced before you were able to get to the place where you are now in terms of digitization? I think a real life example to also help the people would really help. as you talk about some of the challenges you face within this sector as you digitize?
As an experimenter in the field, I have a history of how my bag began, because it began right within my palms. When it came to the issue of digitization to enable us have this mileage we have now, like I was discussing with my brother here, ordinarily we had a number of persons at the level of the board of the bank. They were having pessimistic ideas, disposition. Will this not expose the bank? Will people not just be stealing money? But just like Fabio came here, and he displayed statistics here to show what mileage we're going to achieve. Those statistics were the same tool I used to convince the board that we just have to go the direction. And then we went that way. Then second aspect is that the attitude of staff. Ab initio, we had a crop of staff that were like retirees from microfinance banks who were already stones, who so uneasy to crack. Honestly, as a CEO, for those of them that were not ready to change their attitudes, I have to exit them. For those of them that were ready to change their attitude, we move them away and move them to places where we need to re-oil their heads. And today, they are really enjoying it.
Thank you.
The last one, let me mention. Digital plans, platforms is costly. But of course, it is not really necessary that if you, as a bank, if you want to be onboarded on these digital plans, it must be financed from your, from your capital. There are options to financing, which myself and here, my brother here will be discussing, but I think that's not meant to be revealed here. For those of us that are financial experts, or those of you, we need to come and consult us. You pay for a fee for that. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Consult. I'm hoping on you that you will help us give some of the insight that Mr. Ibrahim have told you on some of the challenges and what you are doing to solve the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. I know Mr. Ibrahim is looking for money, so he needs consultancy fee, maybe. But truth be told, for us at Revelation, right now, put Revelation. You download my app, you will open your account from beginning. We took them along from the very beginning, before we started. So we have our ATM cards. We are not co-branding as an MFB. We have our ATM machines. We did not co-brand with anybody. We invested so much in that line. And where we have gotten to right now in Revelation is a thing to behold. Because a bank that broke even in less than 6 months.
Please, round of applause.
So it's not,
round of applause, please.
It's not something. And if you want technology, if you want to be digital, you need to look out for the right people. And if you are looking out for the right people, it's also a price to pay. That is part of the investment. You don't bring somebody and give the person 150,000 or 200,000. Those kind of pitiable salary. And you want the person to deliver.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Right? Please deserve a round of applause. I think they are living in the name of the MFB. The way he's saying that, we saw a revelation will be in the next 6 months. Tell your neighbor, catch some revelation. Catch some revelation, please. Please catch some revelation of where you want your company to be in the next 6 months, so that you can break even with the way Revelation may be. Man, I must say I commend your confidence. I commend your growth. Like, I need some revelation in my life right now. I receive it, right?
Receive it.
Thank you very much. So I also want to ask you, right, what are some of the challenges you think from a business, from a fintech perspective, what are the challenges fintechs are also facing in scaling and growing their businesses? Again, we don't have just MFBs here. We have fintechs here, right? And trust me, it's not very stirring that you're in. What are some of the challenges you think fintech are facing within this sector? Thanks.
Yeah, looking at the basis of the establishment of microfinance bank, which is to serve the underserved or people that are not in banking activities at all. And most of these guys are resident in remote areas or rural areas where they have challenges of network. You know, some of them, smartphone penetration is a challenge because getting a smartphone now is very expensive. So I think it's a major challenge in scaling the business. You know, yes, you might have 1 million customers, but business is all about growth. So in scaling it to reach the unreached, to reach the underbanked, these underbanked people don't have access, they have limited or no internet access. So it's a major challenge. Although this Starlink now is doing justice to it by providing a Starlink and all that. Although most of them are able now in terms of infrastructure, drawing internet closer to those rural areas. I think that is a major challenge.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, you mentioned that name of that infrastructure. Again,
so I
is it cost? But you want to add to it, please do.
I just need to add to what he just said. So because of lack of connectivity, that's a major challenge for most of these microfinance banks and their customers, right? If we go the route of Interswitch, which we are actually working with the microfinance banks on our platform to drive the USSD platforms, the offline banking platforms that actually enable them have access to their customers, execute their operations on their mobile phones without using a smartphone that is expensive. Do you understand? So that actually would help, you know, drive the inclusion.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're already going into my next question, right? To say, having looked at all those challenges, right? This will be to you, Emmanuel. Having looked at all the challenges and the opportunities that we see present, how do you think the microfinance and fintech company can work together to foster a more inclusive financial ecosystem?
All right, thank you. So let me use the Holy Book, right? If you are in Genesis, you are still analog. If you move to Revelation, you are digital. All right? So Revelation, maybe you pay us for this advert. Okay, where are you in the
you are speaking of
Acts of the Apostles?
We are just, in fact, I'm the first chapter of Revelation.
All right, the fact I'm trying to make is that you must have a switch of your mindset about technology. I'm sure some people who may be seated in this room are still like, I don't want to do this thing. It's risky. If you're not online, you are absolutely offline. Accept that technology has come to stay. So the microfinance banks, the fintechs, the e-commerce operators, if you're in the space and you're doing business at any level, begin to think digitally. How do I bring my business to the cloud, to the world? So accept it. That's number one. Number two, you have to connect to people who are doing it. That's why we brought this platform here. Let's connect. All right? Connect with people who are already in the business. Ask them. Today we are hearing a lot about how I'm shocked to hear that Revelation MFV broke even in less than 6 months. I mean, it's like a miracle, considering the cost they have invested in digitizing their bank. So how did they do it? So after this meeting, this is the center of attraction. Go and ask him. Connect. Then number 3, you must take away this get-rich-quick mentality of us in Africa, especially in Nigeria. You must give yourself time to grow. Technology is promising. The potential in using technology to drive your business, whether e-commerce, whether app development, whether you're a developer, you're a microfinance operator, calm down. Money will come. It's like a seed you plant, and when it grows, it bears fruit. Some 10,000, some 20,000, some 1 million. But you have to be patient. You water it, you nurture it, you groom it, you protect it. Be patient, all right? The returns will come later. There are so many more things you need to do. Then fintechs, I beg on, reduce the cost of integration. I will speak for them. I'm part of it. They will give some discount, some solutions, so that you can get access to it. And then all the microfinance banks and other people be willing to accept that technology is a bit expensive and spend for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I want to ask Mr. Ibrahim, right, what do you think are the key components of building a sustainable and scalable microfinance bank? Scalable and sustainable, with emphasis on sustainable microfinance bank.
response to your question has to do with talking about the critical success factors for a microfinance banks. In the era we are now, for a microfinance bank to be sustainable, for the business to be sustainable, for you to remain resilient, for you to remain online in business and not offline, honestly, the first thing is that you must go on the digital platform to play there, because that's where you have access to the global world, using all apparatuses through which people can reach you. For instance, you know, one of the most undignifying things that happened to me to begin to think digitizing the bank, honestly, was like the experience you had with your daughter. My son came back from Madonna University. He's a graduate of pharmacist now. And I said, let me send some money to you to use. But you don't even have a bank account. He said, Daddy, I have now. You have what's it called? You have a debit card to it? He said, yes. Which bank? I was expecting he would mention UBA or Zenith Bank. He said, Kuda Microfinance Bank. Your daddy is CEO of Microfinance Bank. You have a debit card of Kuda. You mean I will now send money to your bank? He said, that is it. He said, my generation is Gen Z. And honestly, his business name now is Gen Z Pharmaceuticals. So honestly, digitizing is just one of the critical success factors. Secondly, my brother just mentioned, we have moved into this era of technology. We have to leave a generation, whether still alive now, that are refusing to move. You need skilled individuals, hire skilled individuals, staff that are ready to share your mission and your vision. And lastly, too, digitization too helps to know about several options to financing. We talked about a possible handshake between the fintechs and the microfinance banks. I think as time goes on, if the marriage becomes really very convenient and robust, there can be an arrangement to have a trust fund to enable other microfinance bank or institution who wants to be onboarded to access such funding, so that on a rental basis they can be paying back. That will enable you to have large customer base too.
And revelation is happening in the room already. That's the revelation you received. Trust fund in the future where people can actually key in. But I said three things that are very germane to sustain your business. First is digitization. Second is skilled resource. You cannot overemphasize the need of a skilled resource. It can be skilled, but if it does not buy into the vision and the mission of your company, then it's very important that they align or they are out, because it's very key to a sustainable growth, right? And Mr. Patrick, do you want to add one or two things to some of the things they need to do to be able to build a sustainable and resilient institution?
Thank you once again. Another thing is, apart from what he has said, you also need to invest in training and retraining of your staff and even yourself. I think that's the reason we are here. And we also need to look at regulation, government regulation. The fintech companies and the MFIs, they need to come together with government, tripartite kind of arrangement. Because these regulations, they keep coming every day and they keep changing. MFIs will sit down today, tomorrow they will say you are being invited to House of Reps in Abuja. They are getting letters, I'm sure. The MFIs that are here, they are getting letters. They say, come with your files. You go there. They'll say, we are not ready to see you today, go back. Come another day. For now, the State House of Assembly, everybody, I think there should be a private bill so that there will be a representative of the MFIs on a body, even in the government, so that you know, maybe there should be a commissioner for because you want to eradicate poverty through where? Through who? Through microfinance. So something should be done about regulation, changing the scope, changing the dynamics, make things look easier. Like you already mentioned, I don't want to go there, about the cost also. That also, I know Pamela, we've had a kind of a to and fro movement battling and say, I will not pay this money, bring it down, you know. We've had such issues. So also, I think that is, since you're already pleading for us, I will not plead again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very, very much. You said something very germane also. training of your staff, training of yourselves, and one more person, training of your customer is very, very important. Because if you do not train your customer, they become very susceptible to the digitization that you are speaking about. Because again, because of the people you are currently connected to, imagine, they will call, social engineering these days, they will call your grandma in the village and say, Susan said you should send me the code that went into your phone a few minutes ago. And they give it out very innocently. So the training should be all round, and you should not just train them using English. Please, speak the language they understand. We speak English too much sometimes in Nigeria. Sometimes I feel like I can just start speaking Ishan, because it's easier for me to communicate to my grandma that way. So in training them.
The Fintech are bringing on board for microfinance institutions. The Fintech are bringing on board for microfinance institutions to use to reach the unreached. The place of trust and integrity is key in business.
Thank you very, very much.
Is key in business.
Thank you very, very much.
One other thing I want to ask in addressing the issue raised, said House of Reps sending letters to MFIs, come this, come that. Using blockchain technology to set up auditing trail accounts that cannot be altered by any hacker or anything at all. They don't need to be inviting people. With that blockchain technology, with the auditing trail accounts, they can log on. If they have their committee, they can log in wherever they are. Watch whatever it is that is going on within a particular microfinance bank. That will also help in addressing that.
That's some revelation again. I'm liking revelation we're getting of this place today. Chidi, what will be your last pasting shirt you want to drop with the audience?
So for me, it's all about collaboration. It's key. I mean, nobody is in an island. A tree doesn't make a forest. You need people in the system. You need people in your space to function. Collaboration is key for businesses to scale, to grow customer base and drive results. So for me, parting words on this is collaboration, connecting to the right people, partnering with the right microfinance banks and fintech companies to drive growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You said collaboration and networking. So again, you have the opportunity to network and collaborate. Let it start from home. Let's start doing what we are talking about. They said it's not just in the talking, it's in the doing. Collaboration is very important. Emmanuel, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say.
Yes, okay. So what I would like to say is divorce your marriage with analog system and get married to digital transaction services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you so much. I want to, please, if possible, make this some kind of session something that comes up on quarterly basis. Our people need a lot of new orientation. I'm really happy that I'm invited here, and I'm going to take this message home to our local area, which by virtualization is now in the global place. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
much. Please, media, I don't know if you can flash the link so people can take it and send to people to be watching from wherever they are, so they can also get the message immediately. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And permit me to call you Mr. Revelation. Some revelation for the house.
Thank you. And thank you. And I know that after this place, the database will shoot up as well. And the search on Google will increase. And also on the mobile app, it will also increase. Just download it, don't worry. Download Revelation Microfinance Bank app. Use it to measure your own. Use it to do your own. It is free on the net. God bless you.
Oh my word. I mean, this is having an opportunity and it took opportunities. Please, can we give a round of applause to the panelists? I'm sure you've named again one or two things on what they are doing for their business to grow. Do you want to add one or two things?
Please, sorry, in case you are in need of high-skilled IT professionals to function in your organization.
They are going to pay us for this.
You can meet my brother, the managing director of School V. They have a lot of people that can do the work.
Okay, thank you very much for all these adverts. You will see me at the back for the offering. Thank you very much. Please, we need to snap some pictures. And I think I'm so privileged. Like, CEOs, Okay. Okay, one more. Some stills was not captured. All right, thank you so much, the team. It's been very interesting speaking with you all. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Please, a round of applause as they go. Thank you. Okay. While we're about to go for the next session, I'll just be doing a random passing of mic. Somebody will just tell me, what's one thing you took out of this panel session? Random. One thing you took out of this session, please.
Good day, everyone. Thank you. My name is Tejiri, a network security engineer at Delta Trust Mortgage Bank. So I'm all about security. So when he mentioned integrity and trust, because I'd already prepared a question for them, which they but I think they answered almost all the questions. So what I took with myself is, so keeping up with retention of clients and ensuring business continuity, we have to put in different measures in place. Measures like raising, which is a key factor, because most staffs now, they are not really technically oriented. So organizing programs like this to be able to impact them with some knowledge and be able to identify phishing wares. Sorry, I'm a cyber.
No, it's fine.
So I'm more of anything security. So because some people cannot identify a lot of phishing links, which they can just send to you. Everybody, they like free money. You tap on the link, and at the end of the day, you end up tapping on a link that has a malware. But if you keep up with trainings like this that can be able to, allow them to learn about how I put it, being able to identify phishing links, ignoring them, and it will help in the continuous development of how I put it, the company, because they have to, because most of the staff, they are in control of the data. So if outsiders, unauthorized users have access to the data, it can breach the trust, the integrity between the company and the clients, and it's going to reduce their reputation. And also the...
Okay, finish up. I'm so happy at least you've gained a lot. It's fine.
All right, so for trust, like he said, we have to be able to, resist the urge to, deceive. Okay, you have a client, and this client has a lot of money, and okay, you want to, get some for yourself, but for you to build a proper relationship with such clients, you might think they don't have sense. So you just come and, how I put it, tell them, okay, you need to pay this, you need to pay that. You think that the person is not, how I put it, aware that, oh, you're tricking the person. Because once they have this experience with you, and they know that, okay, this person is false, they won't come back again. So in retaining a client, you have to, how I put it, build like a trust. So you have to be, what do you call it? You have to have integrity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, she deserves a round of applause. She deserves it. I think there was one aspect we really talk about in terms of cybersecurity, was able to bring it in, right? The need for us to be self-aware. It's not every link they say that they want to give you money you should click on. Don't click on the link if you know you did not have money in the place they said money is. Sometimes they tend to play on our grid. So thank you so much. I think he has built everybody, right? Because she really heard a whole lot. So a round of applause once more. So the next thing we'll be doing would be, we've talked about, say something. Oh, please. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I was just made aware that Mr. Revelation, as I call him, is the current NAPS chairman for Delta States. So please, a round of applause. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. So we talked a lot today about how to grow and scale your businesses. We talked about the growth. Someone said we should also do this program quarterly. We will try. We'll take it back to our management and come back to you, right? But the next thing we want to do about is some of our product presentations, right? It's not just enough to say we have all the various solutions. We need to do this, we need to do this. We've come today with some targeted product solutions that we think would help you grow and scale your business. So I'll call on the first presenter to come over to then present to us some of the solutions, some of the things we're doing within lending space, within the payroll space, and what we need to do from the microfinance bank and the fintech to be able to scale in. So please, let's put our hands together as we call on the first presenter. Thank you so much.
All right, as he comes, we'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Iwoyota Rocky. He's a director of ICT. He's also representing the Minister of Science and Technology, Honorable Commissioner for Science and Technology, Delta State. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for coming. All right, come on. We're waiting for you. Together for the next presenter. Thank you. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This man is digitized.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Martin Ebo, and I currently work with the Lending and Data Service team here at Interswitch. So today, high level, I'll just walk us through what it is that we do at the Lending and Data Service team. Currently, we have sort of like positioned ourselves as the technology provider that provides ecosystem and infrastructure for MFBs, fintechs, to support some lending and data service initiatives. Those initiatives cut across our ability to solve salary-related problems, right? Access to a marketplace where customers will be able to buy products from sell to MFBs and provide lending infrastructures for MFBs and provide data as a service for MFBs and fintechs. Right. Taking this thing to our product overview for salary lending, we have designed the salary lending proposition to focus primarily on solving the needs for private employees, right? So we have sort of like crafted a product that provides end-to-end digitization for employees in the corporate space to be able to... Confirm you can hear me. Okay. To be able to provide short-term loans to employees in the corporate space. So cast your mind to, I don't know if any of us has borrowed, but the typical traditional borrowing process in most commercial banks, microfinance banks, would more or less entail you providing a laundry list of documentation, right? So from bringing the account opening form, from filling the loan form, providing guarantors, etc. What we have done here is to digitize the end-to-end of that product to ensure that with touch points to some of our consumer channels today, you can apply for that loan or the lending product instantly and get value instantly. So high level on the solution overview, this service, like I said, allows employees to get up to 50% of their monthly salary over a period of time. And this service is accessible on our digital channels today, which is our consumer and digital channel today, which is QuickTeller. For the product benefits in itself, I think the benefits are very explainable, right? First things first, it's end-to-end, it's fully digitized in the sense that you don't need to bring any form of documentation, so to speak, right? In terms of the limit, you can get up to 50% of your salary over a given period. In terms of the interest rate, we have partnered with some microfinance banks, some digital lenders to ensure that the interest rate is very minimal in terms of what the NPR is saying today. So from a lending perspective, the pricing is very favorable and it's a single-digit interest rate for the customers that currently borrow this product. Tenor today hovers around somewhere between 1 to 6 months. We are looking at seeing how we can further extend this up to 12 months for our customers that will potentially pilot with us in this product. And like I said, the channels today are on our quick teller consumer channel. The target market, like I said today, are employees with consistent salary payments. So these employees would have received salaries over a given period of time, and they will be able to access this product based on the salary history that they have, right? And typically, we also recommend some employees that work in blue chip companies, and that's largely based on the fact that these employees typically will have consistency in terms of salary payments. Documentation required to onboard on this product is pretty much straightforward. We need an executed letter of partnership from the employer of those employees, and we need to provide consented data from the customers to enable us to profile them for this product. From a data perspective, we have structured this product in such a way that, and I know some of my colleagues here have spoken about how digitalization is helping microfinance banks deliver value and create insights for customers, right? So imagine being able to understand the customer's financial footprint without actually meeting that customer. Imagine having the transactional footprint of that customer across several banks in just an API call. Imagine being able to segment the customer, understand who the customer is, know where the customer spends, know how he borrows, know where he goes to every Sunday to buy different products. And imagine having that insight to know the next best product to sell to that customer. Imagine having to open an account for a customer, but you don't know what segment that customer will fall under. But if I give you an API, on that API, you'll be able to have history, transactional history of the customer, financial footprint of the customer, and also the segment of that customer in an API call. That's what we're doing here under the data as a service product. So for the solution overview, what we have done is to see how this product can help us provide better insights for our customers. So for the MFBs, for the fintechs that will partner with us on this particular journey, you'll be able to use these robust APIs that we have to then make meaningful decisions in carrying out several products, several offerings for these customers. The benefits are enormous, right? So from being able to do target marketing, from being able to understand or improve specific business processes. And just like I had said, instances where you want to open an account, the API, you'll be able to see what segment the customer falls under, how the customer transacts over time, where he goes to shop to buy products, what his most preferred period is for spending, etc., right? And you'll be able to make those decisions on the fly. You'll also be able to gain insights into the customer's behavioral patterns. So beyond having insights into his transaction information, you also see certain patterns and behavior of the customer, right? Look at things around his average balances, look at things around what is maximum, what days he has the most balances, and etc. And all those things into for what product you'll be selling to that customer. Again, the target market cuts across the different works of the financial institutions. That includes commercial banks, microfinance banks, fintechs, and lendtech companies. To kickstart this engagement, will require just an award letter initiating intent that you want to partner with us on this particular journey, and we'll need an executed SLA between the microfinance bank and us at Interswitch. Last but not the least, I spoke about access to market. So today, yes, there have been several conversations around knowing how to get customers, right? So imagine you're an MMB in a remote location, right? And you need not just any kind of customer, but customers that have potential capacity to transact with you, leave deposits with you, buy one or two of your products, right? We have been able to create several products across different consumer platforms that we currently have today. And with those products, we'll be able to acquire those customers, lend to those customers, and provide some form of financial service to those customers. So for our access to market products, we have products like our nano loan product, which is an instant loan product. So what we have done is on our consumer app, I don't know how many of us have the QuickTeller app today. You'll be able to go into the QuickTeller app today without even having financial history on QuickTeller app. You will potentially be able to borrow a loan from any of our partnered lenders today. We also have designed a buy now pay later feature on our QuickTeller for Business application, where through our payment gateway, you will be able to buy or get access to loan offerings for certain products that you want to buy. So imagine wanting to purchase, I know that in Lagos today we currently have, I know it's across the country, we currently have graduated tiering in terms of electricity, band A, band B, band C, and the rest, right? But we still would admit that in some aspects of the country, there's still limitation in terms of electricity. So imagine you want to buy from a merchant that is on our QuickTeller for Business platform, and that merchant currently sells solar panels today, or inverters today, and you don't have the complete money to buy that product. With our value finance product, our buy now pay later product, you'll be able to get a lender that can finance that purchase for you, either through you providing some level of equity or providing an outright purchase for you, right? So holistically, what this product does is that we have been able to curate data, collection services, disbursement services to facilitate the end-to-end of this product. So across the different products I just spoke about just now, as an access to market play, we are able to provide these services to customers on the instant loan play, and also on the buy now pay later play, such that you can be serviced across our consumer channels. The benefits are enormous. So for MFB like yourself, you'll be able to drive significant value by increasing your market share, because this is access to market. These are customers that you typically wouldn't have access to. Today, QuickTeller currently warehouses over 6 million customers today. So this is an access to market play where you'll be able to acquire customers beyond the customers within your sphere. Right? Target market today remains what it is. We are looking at partnering with microfinance banks, commercial banks, and lendtech companies to facilitate these offerings. And documentation in itself still remains what it is. Documentation requires an award letter to initiate a conversation and an MOU to solidify the partnership with us. For lendtech companies that are not microfinance banks or commercial bank, you would require an FCCPC license to validate that you're going through on some unethical practices in terms of lending. Thank you very much. I think that's the end of my slide. I'll take questions now. Yeah.
Entire presentation because of time.
All right.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you've been able to get one or two things from this product presentation. It's talking about data as a service, lending, buy now, pay later. We are in that business today in microfinance bank where you want to be able to give out loans. Do you want to give out loans to more people? Like you want to come and join part of the lenders we have on our platform, so that you can begin to churn out loans, not just to the people that you have as customers, but people we have done a whole lot of analysis for, and then we know that they are right for you to give out loans for. Please meet Martins. He'll be there to give you more information about the product. I'll call on Stalin, aka we'll talk about our mobile financial service business. Just 5 minutes, it will be done. Thank you so much, Stalin. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Good afternoon, everyone. I can see we are having fun, acquiring more knowledge, and at the same time networking. And I know for sure it's only Interswitch that can be a sole convener of this kind of event. Please, let's do something for Interswitch. All right, thank you. My name is Stanley Eke. I work with the mobile financial services of Interswitch. For us, we believe in a world where technology is simply integrated in our lives, right? So For this presentation, for today, I'm going to speak on a product, just one of our products, that is Switch Secure. So what is Switch Secure? It's the two-factor, multi-factor authentication that adds additional value, additional security to protect our platforms, our systems. All right, so as it is, let me compare it with our compliance dual access to our vault. I know as of today, there is no microfinance bank here that an individual will have a sole access to your vault. So that is what 2FA does to our platforms. It brings additional security to access our platforms and our systems. Now, for every innovation that we do in Interswitch, there's a problem that we want to solve. And what are these problems? Recently, in recent times, we are aware of the number of the increase in cyber attacks on financial institutions, right? And this has to do most times, about 60% of it is as a result of credentials compromise, right? So that is why we think and so there is a need for us an additional layer of security to protect our systems. Yeah, because what we usually have as of today is whereby you have your login details, you just log in, put your password, you access your platforms, right? But we're saying no, there is something else you can add to it, which is a 2FA, okay? Like if someone have access to your credentials, right, the person will not have access to your token because it's an app that you will download and install in your system, all right? So it's going to curb the rate of cyber attacks we have as of today, which have led to a lot of volumes of financial losses on financial institutions, and most of them are even going bankrupt as a result of that. But Interswitch is saying no, we can provide you an additional security that will curb all these internal and external actors from attacking our systems. Okay, so you also agree with me that our traditional personal identification numbers we use to access our platforms is no longer sufficient to protect our systems. So that is why we have this need for a two-factor authentication for us to be able to protect our platforms and our systems. Now, next slide, please. Let's go to the features. Okay, so the features, please. So it's a we can white label it for you, right? Whereby what you have in the store will carry your name and your brand, right? So the users will go to the store, download the 2FA, and we do all the integration processes, and you are fine to go with it. So the Switch Secure is also compliance and meets all compliance and regulatory requirements. It is seamless to integrate and is also cost effective. So another thing Interswitch have done for us is this. Like we all know, most of the OEMs as of today that provide this 2FA, right, they charge in dollars, and we know what the emerging microfinance institutions can have access to it. Then whereby you can pay in Naira, and the cost is also pocket friendly. So it is not just for our customers, because some of our customers have given us pressure that we are aware that some microfinancial banks here, what we have only done is to maybe limit it to our customers. But we're saying no, we are recommending it to both your customers and your staff. I know that every banker has integrity. If you don't have integrity, you will be a banker, right? But we shouldn't leave anything to chance. So that is why the need for all of us today to have a 2FA included in our solutions for us to have access to our platforms and our systems. So let me also quickly say what is new on our mobile banking as a service. Like we all know, before now, right, it used to be a multi-tenant app whereby we have a number of microfinance institutions in one app. You download the app, then you'll be able to access your own microfinance. So what we have today, we've been able to separate it. It is now on a standalone, right, without, on the same cost in terms of you don't still need to invest in any technology. You don't need to invest in any technical competence. Interswitch, we will handle all that for you, provide all necessary support that we need to ensure that your platforms are secured and efficient and runs efficiently. So, so that is just, and yeah, let me also add that we are currently running a promo on this mobile banking as a service. As of today, okay, the promo has been extended to November, end of November. If you're able to key in now, right, you get a discount of 40%. 40% discount. What you'll be paying is just a token that cannot be compared to the return on the investment you are going to have. All right. So, this is just the two products I would like to speak on. Thank you for your time. If you are here seated and you don't have a 2FA and you are not a digital bank, please make our time to see me at the back. Let's have a one-on-one conversation. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 2FA is very important. Two-factor authentication. What you know and what you have is very critical. And we all know today, even according to CBN law, if you are giving out a solution to your customer, you must have 2FA. And that's because of bad actors. So if you need any 2FA solution, we are there. And again, if you don't have any mobile banking app, we have the one that is cheap and cheerful, where you can easily come on board. I think, you're talking of 1 million, you can actually have a mobile app for the one on our shared platform. And we've also done something whereby even for the ones that you want a dedicated dedicated mobile banking app, we already have discounted price for you today. Traditionally, we're going to have the one we build for you because we build for lots of institutions. Banks today in Nigeria, big banks today in Nigeria are currently using our mobile apps. If you need the ones the banks are currently using today, we can actually give you at a very discounted price. I don't want to say it because we're online before the big banks will hear the amount we're about to give you and they come and ask me for a refund. So please see Stanley behind. Stanley would help you develop a very beautiful mobile banking app that you'll be very proud of, and then you can begin to have revelation of where you go tomorrow. All right, the next person I'll call on would be Iyanu. She'll be talking about our SMS and USSD business, some of the challenges we talked about today. We have a solution that can solve that problem. Iyanu, again, just 5 minutes, she'll be done. Iyanu, over to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like Susan introduced, my name is Iyanu Lua, and I work out of a team. Okay. I work out of a team in Interswitch called Digital Interactive Commerce. And I like to think that we're at the heart of commerce. We help you when it comes to interacting with your customers, allowing them in our team, there are a couple of solutions that we offer that help you achieve this. These are around SMS. SMS solution, which I have some statistics here to walk through. So we have SMS solutions today that help you. I mean, many of us already use banks that deliver transactional messages to you. We are behind that. There are lots of use cases for SMS that we already know for banks, MFBs. You want to notify your customers of a new product you're having, or maybe you have opened up a new branch very close to them and you want them to know that you have this branch here, or a new product, their transactions, it could be promotional, it could be transactional. We're able to help you do that. And today we are doing very well in that space. I like to think that we are the market leaders at now, because on a month-on-month basis, we are able to transact more than 600 million transactions in a month. So that's a lot. We are in so many countries, and so many target verticals. But I I'll be speaking more to our USSD solution. I've mentioned the SMS. We also have another solution called Enterprise Rewards that allows you to reward your customers. But my focus today would be on SMS. On USSD rather. So we call it mobile access business. It's a fancy word for USSD, and this is basically what it does. I know a number of us are already familiar with USSD. Commercial banks use it today. I mean, it started off with telcos where you can check your account balance, you want to, check your data balance and all of that, and then it has trickled into commercial banks where you can now do financial transactions through USSD. And we've seen that this allows people who are not so tech savvy to also be able to participate in, take part in, in the financial ecosystem. So for USSD, we have a couple of, we are a USSD gateway provider, which basically means that we help you to connect with your customers. So we're like in the middle. You have your service and you have the customers who want to engage with those services. So the USSD gateway hosts your code and is able to, the customers are able to access those services. It's a multi-tenant platform, multifunctional, and has lots of key features, which I'll talk about later in the slides. For the target verticals, like I mentioned, lots of almost all the commercial banks today already have USSD short code that their customers use to access their services. And then we have the MFBs like yourselves, fintechs who also use USSD as a way of getting your customers to transact and use financial services. Now, USSD is becoming very interesting because we are seeing lots of use cases outside of these two verticals. We're seeing outside of banks and MFBs, we're seeing in lottery, in gaming, betting, high volume sectors, and even in government institutes. So very recently, we've had government institutes who are now using USSD for informal tax collections. You have people in these areas who want to make payments, and maybe they do not have a bank close by. USSD is now, the way through which they're able to do their informal tax collections. So USSD, like I mentioned, is having a lot of use cases. We had cases where they now use it for registrations, you now use it for customer acquisition. I know personally I was able to open like a bank account, one of the commercial banks, 100% on USSD, so, and then also in the government sector, we've had cases where you can now use USSD for, there's a state we are working with who is using USSD for their health, their health scheme. You just dial the USSD code, you're able to register, and you're able to put in all your information on that health scheme to have access to the health services. So I'm just mentioning some of the use cases, that USSD is beginning to see in the industry. Now, what are the features or what are we able to help you do on USSD? First, we have the gateway hosting, where we host your code extension. I will speak to that much later. Screen development, which is where the screens that you see as you dial the USSD, we're able to see that as well. API integrations, of course, integrating to the services that you have already. Rich feature dashboards. Of course, many of us also want to have insight into what your customers are doing regarding what transactions have happened on my USSD gateway today. What's the value of the transactions? How many transactions have happened? At what time did these transactions happen? All of that are available on the dashboard, and I have a screenshot of that somewhere on the slide, and we're going to get to see that. For the business logic, this speaks to the services that you're able to offer on USSD. Could be DIY services, like I mentioned. It could be registration. It could be for information requests. It could be for queries. We're having, USSD is going, it's beginning to have, it's expanding, and it's having, today many of us are able to check our BVN, NIN, and we have students being able to check their JAMB results on USSD. These are all use cases of USSD today. So DIY services, customer acquisition, you want customers to open an account with you, USSD can make that happen. Financial services, as we all know today, information requests, promotional services, you're running a promotion and customers want to be able to see what they've won and things like that. Those are all available on the USSD platform. Now, speaking to the platform offerings, the USSD gateway that we have today, the processing speed is like really, really fast. In like a second, you're able to process about 640 sessions in 1 second. It's really that fast. Ease of access, you don't necessarily need to be very educated or tech savvy, to be able to use USSD. I know our moms, some of our grandparents are able to use USSD. Platform uptime, as of today, we have like a 99% platform uptime. Our platform doesn't go down. I can say that confidently, right? And then if you experience any downtime, please know it's from the telco. High scalability, where if you're processing about 1,000 transactions today, and then you experience growth in your customers, in your customer base, we're able to scale up to manage that as well. And then there's the strict security guidelines. I'll move very quickly into. This gives a view of, the screens that we are familiar with as you engage with the USSD. But I'll move very quickly into another solution. So I'd like to ask, please, how many of us here have mobile apps? How many of us use mobile apps? It could be your bank, anyone. If you have, please just wave your hand very quickly. The answer are very few. We don't use. Good, thank you. And then how many of us have ever tried to use the app and then it's just circling and you're unable to log in for one reason or the other? Thank you very much for responding. And this is where the offline solution comes in, where you have your mobile banking app and you want to transact, but you're in an area where it's like 2G or E, right? Then you're able to use the offline solution. Now, what does it do? It just basically switches you from the internet banking to the offline banking right there on the app. So this enables your, I've been notified that I have like 2 minutes, so I'll just rush through this very quickly. Okay, so you, so I'm offline. Could you please take it back? So you log into your mobile banking app as it is, and then you put in your transaction details. For some reason, it's not going through because of no network. All you have to do is click on proceed to offline banking, and then it takes you to the page. Now you have your customized page on the menu already that has all of the menu, transactions, find the location. Now, the only difference here is that there's some things that you need to do that need to be internet enabled, like find a location. The internet needs to know where you are to recommend somewhere to you, right? But in this case, when you switch to offline banking, it allows you to do transactions like transfers, like bill payments, like airtime, data, and things like that. So the menu is just slightly different. So you click on that, and then it takes you to the next screen where you input your normal transaction details like you would on the banking app, and then you submit, and then it just goes through without leaving this mobile banking interface. What this does for you is that it reduces drop-off, reduces the drop-off, ensures that your customers have a good experience. And when there's reduced drop-off, it also translates into increased transactional volumes for you and just makes you top of mind for your customers. These are some of the key features, like I mentioned before: high performance, high scalability, fault tolerance, support structure, and then there's a high level of security on the platform. So these are just insights into the kind of dashboard that you would have when you come on board on our USSD. I'd like to mention as well that on the USSD platform, you could use your own shortcode or could leverage on an existing shortcode that we already have. Those are options that are available to you today. Thank you very much, everyone. If you have questions regarding USSD, please, I'm available to take them. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you very, very much. Please, a round of applause for it. So again, we talked about internet as a challenge. You can then see that beyond the USSD code, we are saying offline banking. Even on your mobile app, when you do not have internet, it should not stop you from transacting. You can just click on the offline banking and you can actually do transfers without the internet. You want to know how? Please meet Yano at the back. She'll be there to tell you how you can achieve it on your current mobile banking apps. And I think the last product presentation we'll be having is Chijoke Eze, is the head of banking technology for Interswitch. You'll be telling you some good discount and some of the things we need to do from a security perspective to be able to secure this entire infrastructure that we're talking about. Chijoke, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Are we sitting? Okay, good morning. All right. It's afternoon, right? Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to run through this presentation, although it's the last product presentation for today. All right. We know that the theme for this event is what? Unlocking growth opportunities through what? Technology and innovation. And the reason why you've come here is because you want to grow your business. There are so many opportunities abound, but then you want to leverage on them, right? And what we do in Interswitch is that we provide you with cutting-edge technology solutions that you can leverage on to grow your business, whether customer base or transaction volumes. And we're going to be talking about some security products that you need. You need to protect your customers' transaction, and you need to protect your business as well. We understand that so many businesses they've just sublimed. This security part of this discussion was not taken seriously. But then I understand, because you want to grow your business, you're going to take this very seriously, okay? I'll move to my first slide. All right, so in the next 4 slides, I'm going to be running you through the trend, the happening within the financial space, okay, over the past 5 years. And I want your attention, just ride with me. We're going to land safely. Now, if you look at the slide, just the part on my left, you see the year 2023. So what was this slide talking about? It's talking about the amount of fraudulent attempts that happened in that year, 2023. I want to be particular about that year. I don't want to talk about the others. 2023. So what's the count there? 95,600 and what? 620. So it means that there were some set of people that probably sat somewhere and making attempts 95,000 plus times to see if they could get access to your account. And if you do the math, you divide this by 365. So you're getting is close to 270. So 270 on a daily basis, 270 attempts. I mean, your customers' accounts, 270 attempts on a daily basis. And you see, these guys are not merciful. They are not. One of my colleagues was telling me that our aged mother was called from, well, she thought it was a bank. And then, the call was put through to her and said, Madam, we observed some suspicious transaction on your account and we want to help you. And then, all these old women. And then she exclaimed, hey! And then they started asking that question, okay, do you have your card with you? She said, yes. Okay, can you give us the card number? And she did that because she thought those guys, they had emptied their accounts. All right? So that is what happening on a daily basis, 270 times. And then look at the year 2023. It tells us that 17.67 billion was lost due to fraud. 17.67 billion naira. And that is why you want to protect your customers' transaction. You want to protect your business. And the unfortunate thing is that so many organizations, what they do is they are always reactive. They are always reactive. It's when the heat comes and then you see them running around. That's when you see them running around. Okay? And from the mass we did earlier, 270 times, so you just have to pray so it doesn't come to you, because it's just a matter of time. When they remember you, then they will hit. All right? So you want to be proactive. You want to protect your customer's transaction by leveraging on our anti-fraud solution. You might be asking yourself, with all what has happened over the years, on which of the channels do these guys strike the most? We're going to look at the next slide. So it tells us in the year 2023, because, so I'm comparing 2 years now, 2022 and 2023, mobile channel was the most hit, followed by web, followed by POS, internet banking, ATM, e-commerce. Nobody today wants to go to the ATM and they start doing withdrawal because they know the cameras are there. They rather would send you a phishing mail, all right, with a link in that mail. So when you click on it, it will redirect you to a fake site where you'll be asked to provide certain personal data. All right? And sometimes these guys, they will do what we call phishing. Okay, when I say phishing, I mean V-I-S-H-I-N-G, phishing. Fake voice call. They call you and they say, okay, just like what I painted earlier. Okay, we observe this on your account. Would you do this, do this, do this? And before what is happening, you've given them important information. Right? And sometimes it could be smashing. Smashing is what? Is SMS alert. They send you SMS alert and they tell you, call this number. We observe this, call this number. And so many people are falling prey to those tricks. So there are several scenarios, several ways that these guys leverages on to hit people. All right? Mobile, web, POS, internet banking, ATM, and e-commerce. So you're looking for an anti-fraud solution that has the capability to address these different channels. You're not looking for a solution that has the capability to address just maybe one of them, but for everything. And that is why I want to introduce us to Interswitch Security as a Service. Interswitch Security as a Service. I'm going to run through. I have several, okay? Just run through so we go deep into what we have today. If you look at the below box, it says with fraud increasing by 62% from 35 billion naira in Q1. So Q1 of this same year, the financial sector had already lost 35 billion. And by Q2, so this report I'm giving us, all right, the source is from NIBS, all right? So it's not what I just put up myself, all right? So in Q2, how much has been lost? 56 billion in Q2. In Q2, 56 billion alone. And so it keeps increasing. It keeps increasing. So you want to protect your customers. You want to protect yourself. So I want to talk to us quickly on Interswitch Security as a Service. Interswitch Security as a Service, a fraud detection and risk management solution designed for financial institutions. So there are a lot of capabilities. So if I have to spend time to talk about the capabilities the solution has, we might not live here on time. All right? A lot of them. It's rule-based, behavioral, analytics. It has the AI capability embedded into it. It can do your anti-money laundering check. All right? And then it has comprehensive and flexible reports model. Today you want to switch to ISAs to protect your transactions, to protect your business, so you can scale, so you can grow. All right? Some of the features as well this solution has: comprehensive fraud detection, so it detects fraud in real time. As they are committing the fraud at the other end, the solution is detecting it in real time. Number 2 is AI driven and has machine learning capabilities. I talked about that. Internal fraud prevention. Internal fraud prevention. And so this is one of the areas that so many people today, so many financial institutions have lost it. I was just reading recently of one of the big 4 in Nigeria today, how they lost 40 billion naira. 40 billion naira. And it was triggered from internal, from some of the staff. All right? So this solution has the capability to prevent internal fraud. And then global compliance and flexible reports has the AML module and also customizable rule engine. I'll just move quickly to the next product. So I'm talking about all our security products, okay? So payment control. What's payment control and how does it work? Payment control is a proactive fraud prevention solution that enables cardholders to prevent fraud by locking down payment transaction based on defined rules. So this time around, you're empowering your customers. You are not the one doing the monitoring. You are not the one doing the check. So you are giving your customers the enablement to address some of these things. So how does this work? Your mobile app, you have the service integrated to your mobile app, and then your customers are able to block their cards on all the channels. So if they misplace their card today and someone takes the card to the ATM, It can't do anything with it. Because already on this app, on using this service integrated to your mobile app, your customers' card blocked. All right, so they can't do ATM withdrawal, they can't do POS withdrawal, they can't do e-commerce using the card details and everything. All right, so this solution is so flexible and so good, such that your customers too can block such that transaction does not happen any other location apart from Nigeria. All right, so your customers don't want transaction to happen on their account. If somebody hijacks card details and go to another country, all right, so the solution is sensible enough to know that this is not my default location. What about your currency? The solution helps your customer to be able to block certain currencies to be withdrawn from their DOM account. That's how efficient this solution is. So it enables your customers, so your customers does not have to start calling help desks. I got an alert and this debit happened on my account. All right? Some people, what they do is that before they go to bed, they just turn it off. So it's like a switch. You turn off the switch, and then when you need to access your account or access your phone in your account, you turn it on. So it's very, very good. And for some of our customers, what they do is that they sell this as a service to their customers. All right? So you're going to pay a token, and then you get the services to ensure that you are protected from end to end. All right, so just quickly, Cypher Trust data security. We understand that as of last year, July 2023, the president signed the bill into law that as long as you are in custody of customers' data, we understand that data is live. So for those of us handling customers' data, what you need to do is just see those data as if these are individuals. These are individuals. So you need something that would help protect this data. We understand, of course, just recently, early this year, one of the big banks as well had a breach, all right? Had a breach, and the regulator came on them. They were sanctioned. And again, this is where so many organizations too fail. They are waiting until they are hit before they would implement this solution. You don't want to wait. How does Cypher Trust data security work? Cypher Trust data security can protect your data, encrypt your data, whether structured data or unstructured data. What I mean is whether database or folders or flat files, it can help encrypt those data. How does it work? It can help discover, maybe within your environment, you don't know where this important data sits. The solution can help what? It can help discover those data and then protect them, encrypt them, and then give you the ability to assign control. Who are those that should have access to this data? Who are those that should be able to access it at any time? All right? Whether you have your data in the cloud or whether you have it within your premise or whether hybrid or both environments, the solution has the ability to protect your data. I'm coming to the end of this. All right, so I talked about this, Cypher Trust data security. Three major things the solution does: discover, protect, and control. Okay. All right, so this will be my last slide, and then I would round off. All right, so I talked about the different modules, the different functionalities of what the Cypher Trust data security does. Data discovery and classification, ransomware protection, database protection, application protection, tokenization, and then you have your key management, secret keys management. I started by saying the theme for this event is unlocking growth opportunities through technology and innovation. And in Interswitch, what we do is that we want to enable you. We want to ensure that your businesses grow. We want to ensure that you scale. All right? And we understand again that the anti-fraud solution, it's not cheap. And so what we do in Interswitch is, especially in this event, is we want to give this solution almost for free to as many that are interested to grow their businesses. Like I said, you're not waiting until the attack comes. You want to protect yourself. You want to protect your customers. Many customers they've just disappeared. They are no longer in business because their image, as a result of fraud that happened to one of the customers who went to social media and talked about them. So many other customers avoided them, ignored them. All right? You want to protect your business. You want to protect your customers' transactions. So we're having a promo that is currently going on and would end by December. All right? We're going to have another section to talk about that promo in-depthly, and I'll be telling you the token that you are required to pay. Like I said, it's almost for free. It's almost 90% off, all right, just for you to ensure that your businesses are secured. If there's any question, all right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Facilitator. You have done so well, but I need to ask this question. My name, once again, is Johnson Alawode from Mega Praise Microfinance Bank. Now, it appears your pricing template is done on product-by-product basis, unlike what is obtainable with your with NIPS, whereby you pay a sum annually and you are at liberty to key into, even though it is one product or service, that is for you. If you are also leveraging on all their services, but from what you have said so far, you may correct me if I'm wrong, it seems your pricing template is on product by product basis. Then also, I wanted to ask this question, but I was only waiting till the product presentation stage. Now, are you saying that all of these products and services you have mentioned, are they standalone or they have, because some of them, of course, for optimal customer service delivery, some of them may have to work with our existing database, for seamless product delivery. So I want you to speak. Those that are on standalone and those that have to be integrated with our existing database, what are the CBAs that you already have a handshake with, so that we can know, that we know, and if you don't have, then we have to look at, we have to consider some of our options. Thank you.
All right, I'll respond to that, and my colleague here could add one or two. Your question is, why the different pricing template, right? Because these products are different, all right? And some of these products are transaction-based. So there's a pricing template for transaction-based solution, all right? So there's also a pricing template for non-transaction based. So in a nutshell, yes, we have different pricing template for each of the solution. All right. You're talking about the core banking, right? The different core banking. For this ISA solution I just talked about, it can be integrated to any core banking. Any core banking. Apart from core banking, third-party applications, your back office applications, you can have it integrated to that. So it's API based, all right? So you can have, we share with you the API, and then you can you can connect to it.
Okay, so let me just add to that. So for the first question that you asked, that just like what we have in some other places, so we have something like that. So today, if you're going to come on our ASP FEP, which is a platform you use to issue cards, we probably would give you one standard pricing, and in that pricing, we would connect you to our Pay Direct platform, to our Quick Teller platform, to our SMS platform, to our USSD platform. They are all one price, all inclusive. But by the time you now start to transact, just the same way you have it with the competitors, right? By the time you now start doing transfers and the likes, there are then transactional fee you have to pay. So if you come on an ASPFEP platform, there is a bundle where some other services are added to it. But however, there's some products that are dedicated that we know that this product will give you a standard product that we know you need, right? But there's some product that we know based on your strategic goals, you may say, I'm not interested in this product as of now. So we give you opportunity to then cherry pick those products, part of the ISAS product that we have today, some of the learning product that you have today. But we have standard product that when you come into the Interswitch network and we onboard you and we tell you you can have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we do. So we can have that type of conversation thereafter, right? So again, as I said, for the ISAS one, and you know, Interswitch, we are literally connected to almost all the banks in Nigeria. So whatever core banking you have, we've integrated to it before. Thank you. So any other product questions? So I think there's a point for product questions, right? Then we'll probably need, please go ahead.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Grant Agadu. I actually have some couple of questions, but for the fact that you said at the end of the presentation, we should just ask the question. I think I will just flow with the 3 questions I have.
That's fine.
The first one have to do with ILS, which is Interswitch Lending Solution.
Okay.
I think the first presenter came and talked about nano loans and all that. From what I understand in the past is that ILS is same as nano loans. So I would love him to explain to me, because for the past 4 years, actually, we've tried to key into that, and to date, it hasn't come to fruition. You know, the last I got was, okay, when our mobile app was onboarded and every feature is optimal, then it can now rest on it. Today, we have a mobile app running for close to 4 years. By next month, it's going to be 4 years, and the ILS is still not onboarded. In fact, the last executive meeting we had was that, okay, if they cannot do it, then let them make a refund of what was paid, because we actually pay for 2 modules, the ILS onboarding itself, and for the credit risk management appraisal module as well. So that is one question. 2, how do we get the second factor authentication? If we are to get it, for the fact that we are already on mobile app, existing for close to 4 years, as I mentioned earlier, will it be seamless for us to have that? Because as it is right now, we actually need it. What we have presently is just your password and your PIN, and the transaction is boom. And this happens to be one of the best products, because, permit me to say, we have a whole lot of products associated between us and Interswitch. Mobile app, USSD, POS, ATM cards and all that, we are there, even the USSD and all that. So we want a situation whereby how will these 2-factor authentication work with the existing mobile app that we have? That's my second question. The third is, what is the current cost? Because you did mention something like a discount. So what's the current cost so that we can be able to know what discounts they are offering? Then you mentioned offline banking on mobile app. Yes. I remember the last person I worked with, although she left the organization, I think that was Bamishe Ozoalo. She mentioned this very particular service, extra service to the mobile app, which have to do with a kind of an offline transaction. Whenever network comes, it flows. So when she explained to me then, it uses a USSD, a kind of scalability at the back end, and which later transcends into mobile app as if it's just. So I don't know if, why it has not been done. And lastly, have to do with this Interswitch security as a service. Fine, it's something that will be seriously needed, because fraud, cyber fraud here and there is on the increase. How do we go about it? What is the scalability, as in terms of disrupting the existing platforms that we already have? How fast can we do that? Because I received a mail some few days ago that you guys will soon be going for technology freeze, which normally cut across from December to, let's say, February or so. So those are my few questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being our customer over the years with all the products you mentioned. We really appreciate, right? So you've asked some questions. And maybe what I would do would be for the 2 FA bits, considering the fact that you're thinking of how would it work with your existing infrastructure. I'm sure other people probably want to be able to learn from that. So I'll call on the 2 FA guy to probably just talk about how it would work with existing infrastructure for the benefit of others, right? Then for the ILS bit, what I'll do is, because again, I'm getting that we are pressed for time, I'll get Martin to work with you. I'll hand over to Martin or Innocent to work with you to see what exactly the challenge you're currently having and see how we can fix it. And then for the fraud as a service, I'm sure, Chijoke, what does it need? It's a very highly scalable platform, right? What you need as usual when you're coming to Interswitch will be our data telling us intent, and from there, we can then set you up into a project and then start to implement.
So just a quick one. So we're going to have another section after this to discuss that.
So please, for the benefit of others, I needed this 2FA conversation. So how seamless is it to integrate to existing platform that they have today? Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much, sir. That's Amju. Thank you very much.
Oh, Amju, good to meet you.
Yeah.
Finally.
Same here, honestly. Yeah. Well done, sir. Thank you very much for that question. So like I said in my presentation, the 2FA, the integration is going to be seamless and with our maybe a minimal disruption that won't have to cost you anything, right? So we'll integrate to an API. So even if you have a mobile banking a mobile app that is already existing, right? It's just for you to give us an API, we integrate it to it. It's as simple as that.
On all other channels too?
Yes.
On other channels too?
Yes, yeah, on other channels as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you.
And the payment is on subscription basis. And like I said, it's very pocket friendly. Yeah. Yearly, annually. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. I can see other hands up, but we are mindful that we have quite a number of people that have come from different states and they need to go back. I really wish I could take all the questions right now, but what we will do is I have a whole lot of Interswitch staff at the back. Once you see them wearing this tag, Interswitch, they'll be very happy to take all your questions and be able to provide you a whole lot of feedback, right? The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that if you're not issuing VEF card, you are wrong. There is no card today that is more local than VEF card. So I'm imploring you all to issue one VEF card today, because first is the money is in Naira, you pay in Naira, and you don't have to pay any foreign currency for any transaction processing. So I want to say thank you so much for listening to us. And again, welcome to Asaba TechConnect 4.0. I think we're going to the another main part of the event, which is our award presentation. And it will be taken by none other than Ogechi, Ekwechime, and Chidi Okbara for the award presentation. Please, a round of applause for them. We want to be able to say thank you to all our esteemed customers for banking with us, for partnering with us all through the years, and want to give some awards to some specific customers that has been working with us for a very long while. So Ogechi, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, and it really has been an interesting session, connecting with everyone, and it's a pleasure to reward, our customers that have been with us over the years, and we'd like to recognize our top performing microfinance bank in the South, and this is no particular order, just to say thank you, for partnering with us.
All right, thank you very much for attending this event.
No, we're fine here. We're fine. Thank you.
Don't worry. Okay, thank you very much for attending this event, and we're happy to see your faces. And we're looking forward to doing more business with you as we recognize people who have been working with us over the years. And in no particular order, Westland MFB, Mr. Lucky Ijehe, Asaba branch manager. Wetland is represented by Mr. Lucky. Okay, next on the list, we have Eagle Flight Microfinance Bank being represented by Mr. Ope Okome, Head of IT. Mr. Ope Okome. The next on the lineup is Revolution Microfinance Bank. And Revolution Microfinance Bank is represented, or Revolution Microfinance Bank, okay, is represented, or rather the MD here was on the panel with me. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. Then we have Auchi Microfinance Bank. Pamela, please come up on stage to receive the award on behalf of the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Then on the next on the lineup, it's University of Calabar Microfinance Bank. Samuel Lunga, please come on stage to take the award, to receive the award. Samuel. It's just life, that's how it is, 'cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? While we wait for Samuel, we also have a representative of the River State government. Okay, Dr. Kerry Nwa-Former, Head of Collections, Enforcement and Compliance at the River State Government, Board of Internal Revenue. Please clap as he comes on stage. River State has been doing very well for us in terms of revenue. We appreciate and thank you for your contribution. Next on the lineup, it's Edo State government. Also, Pamela will pick up the award for Edo State government. Yeah, these are state governments that are doing a lot of business with us today. We appreciate your contribution to our business. Next is Cross River State government. Kingsley able to come and receive the award on behalf of the Cross River State government. Cross River State government is also one of our customers in the region who also been doing a lot of business with Interswitch. Next, a representative, or rather, Akwa Ibom State government, Nomso able to pick up the award on behalf of Akwa Ibom State government. Akwa Ibom State government is also one of our customers in this region, doing a lot of traffic in terms of revenue collection for Interswitch. Then we have Bayelsa State government, led by Chief Honorable Ben Habert and his team. He's the Executive Director, Collections and Reporting at the Board of Internal Revenue, Bayelsa State government. Also have Dr. Wachuku Ogbonnam and Ebisimi Afamu Koro. Right? Sorry if I didn't get the names right. Thank you for your business with us. We appreciate your presence here. Okay.
Thank you all the way from Bayelsa just to come for this occasion. We came with some other executives from Bayelsa State. This to show the strong relationship we have with all the states in the South-South. We believe that Delta State will also join us very soon. Welcome, sir. Just a word for us.
Well, thank you. The management of Interswitch, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chief Ben Robert Yorukmo, the Executive Director, Collections and Reporting by State Board of Internal Revenue. On behalf of the Executive Chairman, Management and staff of Bayelsa State Internal Revenue, I want to say a very big thank you to Interswitch for this award. This award means a lot to us. We have been in partners in business since 2015 till date. And I can say that within this period of review, our relationship has been very cordial and very, very productive. This is a call for more synergy, a call for more service and partnership. And I believe that moving forward, by the special grace of God, we are going to achieve a lot working together. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your business, and we hope to grow this relationship. Thank you very much, sir.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my
Thank you very
destiny.
much. I believe that more persons will come up for award in the next year when we'll come back here. We want you to key in to what we are doing. Like I said, all the state government in the South-South and Southeast are doing business with us. We are coming into Delta State, of course. Coming into Delta State to have this conversation today is opening the door for us to do more business. I believe you've been well informed with a lot of information to help you scale your business to profitability. We want you to go back and begin to rejig your engagement with us, and then also inform your people about some of the things you've gotten here today. I want to sincerely, on behalf of my team in the South-South and my colleagues who came all the way from Lagos and all those who are online, our online audience, thank you very much for joining us online and spending your data. And I also want to thank all of us who traveled from distances to be here today to have this conversation with us. I want to believe you've been able to connect with someone. You've picked up something that can help you, digitize your business. All right? Before I leave the stage, and after giving this vote of thanks to all of us, I will still invite a few of my colleagues to say one or two things about some of the things you're doing that can enrich you as a person in our channel partnership program. All right? But before that, if you have this card on your table, all right, please scan it. So let's start practicing the digitization. Scan it. You will get a link to give us a feedback. Anything you want us to do for you, for your organization, about this event, about the upcoming event, whatever it is, please, that link is going to give you access to speak your mind. And we will collect that data from here. You see, data is power. So please scan it. If you don't have QR code scan, go to Play Store right now and download QR code scanner and then scan this. You get information. And have that QR code scanner. Most of the occasions today are digitized, so you don't have paper order of events. They just give you a QR code to scan. In some restaurants, they just give you a QR code to scan. Like I said again, thank you. Asaba made us proud. We are very excited to be here. In fact, my colleagues from Lagos are so excited. Can we put our hands together for ourselves? Asaba, put your hands together for yourself. Thank you so much. Delta State, we appreciate you. I want to welcome Mr. Chidi Opara, the person that will talk to us about how to put money in our own private pocket through channel partnership. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Like Emmanuel said, we are happy to be in Asaba, and we're also happy to speak to you regarding your business in different areas you function. More importantly, where I'm on stage now is to talk about partnering with Interswitch. So Interswitch has built a partnership business that allows you to come in, bring your customers on our platform, create more value for your customers, and also get incentivized for those leads that you bring. We've created this partnership scheme just to ensure that we reach out to more customers and businesses that we are not able to reach using our sales team. So we know that the partners are local in different regions where they find themselves. They can reach more mileage in terms of creating value. So that's why we've created it. And we're also using that opportunity to spread the good news of what we're doing at Interswitch, just to help bring value to the end users in different areas. So if you, in case you want to know more, get involved with our partnership business or partnership program, please reach out to us. Myself and my colleague at the back, we can give you more details, how you can partner with us, sell our solutions to your customers, and like I said, bring value. You know, in this of technology, it's all about collaborations, people coming together with different ideas and creating solutions that solve different problems in different spaces. So thank you very much for your time, and my time is off here, right? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. I think we all deserve a round of applause. Thank you for staying with us from the beginning of this event till now. Without you, there is no us in Interswitch, and we really appreciate your time. Please, again, we talked about this QR code. If you are not scanning, you are wrong. We've been talking about digitization. We must digitize by force. So as a small part of the... So I'm going around the table. Please help me scan and just say something. You know, so one of the things, traditionally, when we do events such as this, we go to various regions. One of the feedback we got out of the offshoot of the other region, that was why we are in Asaba today. That's why we are in Asaba today. So if there are things you would have loved to see, things you've seen, or things you think we should put together for the next event, if you don't want it in Asaba, tell us you don't want it in Asaba. Tell us to take you to another state. We'll take those feedback and ensure that we can come back and give you the experience that you desire next week. So I'm going around each table. I'm not going to share the grace until I can see enough scanning happening. Announcement, okay.
Thank you. So all the those that received the award in the bank category, please, we would like to have a photograph with you at the back with the award. Those that received the award, please, at the back, the microfinance bank category and then the government category. You want it here? Okay, the photographer said on the stage. Okay, please. The banks on the stage, please, with the award, please. Then the government category also, and then together, we'll all take the photograph. Please, those from the government, I plead with you, do not go. Those that received the award, DJ, something on the back would be nice, so that, hi. All right. So, please come. Let's make it quick. The awardees. If you receive the award, whether on behalf of a bank, on behalf of the government, please come along with the award. Pamela, please do that. Kingsley, come along with the award. All right? Yes. Open it. Yes. Open it. Yes. Please, let's... Wetland MFB, Revelation MFB. Which other MFB again? Have they gone? Bayelsa State, Rivers State. Dr. Kerry, please. Yes, because you have the revelation. Mr. Chinomso, please. Where's the award you got for Edo State? Please come with it. Thank you. Yes, come with it. They are scanning. They are scanning. Yeah, we are getting the information. Please scan the card and give us information. Scan the card. Bayelsa State Government, please come on stage for the photograph. Okay. On stage. Thank you. All right. Okay, we are taking the picture now. Pamela, please come along. Kingsley, can you come along with the ones you receive for the stakes? Samuel, who has the award you're holding? Bring it. Bring it.
All right, thank you very much. Again, as I said, you are all our esteemed customers, and we appreciate the award. Without the award, we look forward to celebrating more customers on the stage another time. I think we're at the part where we say we can call it a day, right? And I hope you've enjoyed the session. Beyond enjoying the session, I hope you've been able to take one or two numbers away, somebody that you can call or speak with. You've been able to network appropriately. And I think we're almost getting to the item 7 of these events. If somebody's excited about item 7. If somebody's excited about item 7, I'm sure we all are. So I think after the pictures, we'll be going to where we'll be dining. We'll be going table by table. From the front, I will just usher each table. So please go out to just follow the ushers to go to the dining place where we would have our lunch. That's a token of saying thank you so much for joining us. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Table, if you're ready, please. We can please go to the dining. Exactly. One after the other.
Yeah, please go with your meal card. Please to be able to have orderliness. You can go with your bags. We have a table in there. Go with your meal card and your gift card. Without a meal card, you may not have lunch. Without a gift card, you may not receive your gift. And please, it's table by table. All right, so